Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Apologies for the delay because of some technical issue. I could not log in. It was not alive for that reason. Am I audible and visible? Am I audible and visible? Am I audible and visible? Okay, good. So yesterday I finished with art and culture. Just hold on. Just hold on. Just a minute. Okay. So sorry for the delay. 15 minutes delay today. So yesterday I finished with art and architecture. So today I hope to do Indian dances. We'll do Indian dances, Indian literature, Indian philosophy. So let's begin. Indian dances. So here we have a number of dances in India. Number of types of dances. Classical dances are there, folk dances, tribal dances, right? And they are marked by change of seasons. So different dances for change, which mark change of seasons during harvest time, during festivals, ceremonies. So we have a number of types of dances in India, accompanied with unique headgear, clothes, etc. And each dance is unique to a part of India. So in this topic called Indian dance, we will be studying about classical dances. Okay, so classical dances, folk dances, classical dances of India, folk dances, tribal dances, and martial dances. Now, what is classical dance? Classical dance is that dance uh, where you have strict rules. There is no scope for innovation. Like you might have seen people dancing in marriages, on the streets, when there is a festival or a procession or somebody has died. People have had some drinks and they're dancing as the way they want. So you cannot do that in classical dance. Classical dance has certain strict rules. So there are 8 classical dances in India, 8 classical dances, and which is the institution which recognizes a particular dance as classical or not. It is the Sangeet Natak Academy. So we have the Sangeet Natak Academy, Sangeet Natak Academy. So this institution called Sangeet Natak Academy is the one which decides whether a particular dance is a classical dance or not. And according to the Sangeet Natak Academy, there are 8 classical dances in India. There are 8 classical dances like Bharatanatyam, Kuchipudi, Kathakali, Satriya, Odissi, etc. But then one more has been added by the Ministry of Culture, that is Chow dance. Chow dance has been added to this list by the Ministry of Culture. By the Ministry of Culture of the Government of India. But then if there's a question asked, how many classical dances are there? Answer is 8, because only 8 are recognized by the Sangeet Natak Academy. Not the Chow is not recognized by the Sangeet Natak Academy. So classical dances have certain strict rules. We will look into it. Like for example, Bharatanatyam. Let's take the example of Bharatanatyam. So I'm just giving an example how we're going to proceed with this topic. So Bharatanatyam, for example, the background of Bharatanatyam, um, uh, what is its origin? Origin of Bharatanatyam. What is the reason for it losing its popularity? There are different styles of Bharatanatyam. What are the reasons for it losing its popularity? Who are the people who revived this form of dance? And the major exponents of this dance, major exponents of this dance, practitioners of this dance. So we'll be talking about that. Similarly, Kuchipudi, where does it originate from? What is the reason for Kuchipudi losing its importance? Who revived it? Who are the rules? Who are the people who made rules for Kuchipudi, etc., etc. So all these things and exponents, major exponents of Kuchipudi. Okay, like that we discuss each dance. Then, of course, we have folk dances of India, folk dances, tribal dances, folk dances. In different parts of India, we have different folk dances like Tamasha in Maharashtra, Lavani, then Yakshagana in Karnataka, like that. Or Gidda in Punjab, or the Bhangra in Punjab, like that. Tribal dances unique to the tribals, various tribals of India, bamboo dance or the bison dance, and so on and so forth. So whatever is in the news becomes important from this topic. Um, you know, let us say there was a tribal festival, and in that tribal festival, some dance was performed. Or during the Republic Day celebrations, you have the Republic Day parade in Delhi, and many states display their tableau, and in those tableau you could have some dance which was performed, very unique to that region of India. So that becomes important and relevant from the exam point of view. And of course, martial dances of India, martial dances like Kalaripayattu of Kerala, okay, or and Gatka of Punjab, like that. No, this is a topic called dance. So Indian dance is best represented by Nataraja, the dancing Shiva. Shiva in the form of dance. So UPSC had asked this question. We will discuss that, importance or significance of the Nataraja dance of Shiva. So this is the introduction to this topic. Okay, classical dance, folk dance, tribal dance, martial dance, and we have various types of dances in India, marking seasons, ceremonies, festivals, with people having their own unique dresses, to dance in those dances, and of course headgear. So all this is seen. The vibrant culture of India is seen in its dances, in the various dances of India. So here, hello, are you there with me, all of you? Am I audible and visible? Right? All audible and visible. So see, I'm a history teacher. I'm not a dance teacher, but then whatever I could understand, I have tried to understand from about this topic, and I have collected information from various sources, and I have filled it up in my PPTs. Uh, Zeba Tra says she's got a video problem. What about others? Is it audible and visible? Only Tra is facing this. Stephen, Dikshit, Divyani. Yeah, everybody have no problem. Tra, you maybe from your end. Sham, just mail me whatever is your query problem. Just mail me. I'll forward it to the concerned people, so that becomes official, right? If it's official, then they will work on it quickly. Yeah, Sham, just mail me. Okay, you know my mail address, I suppose. Please mail me. Okay, all okay, Tra, no problem. So we will discuss this topic called Indian dance. So we'll come back here. So here we have the classical dances of India. Classical dances, they have certain codified rules. As you can see, codified rules. Strict rules are there. There's no scope for innovation. You cannot innovate in these dances. You have to strictly follow the rules of the dance. So there are two basic aspects of classical dance. Tandava, the male aspect, denoted by movement and rhythm. Tandava and Lasya. So Tandava is movement and rhythm, the male aspect of the dance, and Lasya is no more the feminine aspect, which depicts bhava, rasa, and abhinaya. Abhinaya is gestures, bhava is emotions, rasa is emotions, bhava is something, those things, bhava, rasa, abhinaya. It incorporates that. So what are the major schools of Indian classical dance? Bharatanatyam, Kathak, Kathakali, Kuchipudi, Manipuri, Mohiniyattam, Odissi, and Satriya. So there are 8 classical dances of India recognized by the Sangeet Natak Academy. So basically, the theme is conflict between good and evil. So in the dances of India, classical dances, you have the good and the evil shown competing with each other, and ultimately it is the good which wins over the evil, right? So tussle between good and evil. So it's a ritual form of worship, also dance, and those the dance. Bharatamuni is Natya Shastra. It contains all the principles of dance, and he is considered to be the father of Indian theatrics. Bharatamuni. He wrote a book called Natya Shastra, and Bharatamuni is considered to be the father of Indian theatrics, right? So let us talk about the classical dances of India: Bharatanatyam, Kathakali, Mohiniyattam, etc. I'm sure some of you here maybe practicing some classical dance, so you would know more about these dances. So please, I beg your pardon. I'm a history teacher. I'm not a dance teacher, but then I'll try to do my best, whatever I can. So try to understand from the UPSC point of view, general studies point of view, whatever general studies candidate is supposed to know about these dances. We will discuss that. A technical aspect, obviously, unless you're practicing that, you will not know the technical aspect. I would not know the technical aspects of it. So let us talk about these dances of India, classical dances. Yeah, just mail me, Stephen, whatever it is, just mail me. Okay, so Tandava dance, yeah, Rajneesh Tandava dance. Shiva is represented by the Tandava, Ananda Tandava. When he's happy, he dances. When he's angry, he dances. But then what is shown in the Nataraja, idol is that Ananda Tandava, Shiva in his happy dance. Okay, so let us talk about Bharatanatyam. So here, please understand how do we proceed? Origin of a particular classical dance like Bharatanatyam. What are the various aspects of about that dance, elements of that dance? Then what are the reasons for it losing popularity? Who are the people who codified the dance, that is, made rules for the dance? Who are the people who revived this dance form? Who are the major exponents of this dance? That's how we proceed. So Bharatanatyam, okay, comes from 3 words: Bhava, Raga, and Tala. Bharata. You can see the first 1 or 2, 3 letters. Bhava, Bharata. So it is a combination of rhythm, expression, and melody, I believe. It's a popular dance form mentioned in the Shilapadigaram, the Tamil epic called Shilapadigaram, and Bharata's Natya Shastra. There are 64 principles of coordinated hand, foot, face, and body movements. The music which accompanies Bharatanatyam is Carnatic music, and it draws inspiration from the ancient temple of Chidambaram. So in Chidambaram, in the temple of Chidambaram in Tamil Nadu, we have a statue of the Shiva, Nataraja, dancing Shiva. So that's where the Cholas also copied the Nataraja pose from. So originally it is found in the Chidambaram temple in Tamil Nadu. It is a fusion of 3 eminent cultures of South India, the Bharatanatyam dance from Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra. Earlier, please understand, Bharatanatyam was performed by the Devadasis. That's why it is called Sadir. So it was called Devadasis or Dasiyattam. So here it was a solo dance performed by the Devadasis. So girls who were dedicated to temples, they were called Devadasis, Devadasi. So these are girls from certain families who were dedicated to the temple for the service of the temple. So they would stay there, and they would serve the god or goddess. But then, unfortunately, these girls, the Devadasis, were exploited by the high and the mighty of the village. The high and the mighty, the influential sections, would exploit them, almost reducing them to prostitutes. So here, since the dance was performed by these Devadasis, this Bharatanatyam came to be called Dasiyattam, a dance performed by the Devadasis. And since the Devadasi was also into flesh trade, or unfortunately she had been reduced to that, unfortunately, the dance she performed was also looked down upon. By default, the dance was also looked down upon. The present form of Bharatanatyam evolved from Tanjavur. We have 4 gurus. They are called the Tanjavur Quartet. Chinnaya, Ponnaya, Vadivelu, Shivanandam. So you can see here. So you can see on your screen a group of Devadasis dressed in white, posed before a marquee, that is a tent or a canopy which has been put before for an exhibition. So that's called a marquee. So they're posing in front of a marquee in the early part of the 20th century. These are the Devadasi girls, unfortunately. And the dance they performed was also looked down upon. So, okay, so you have these four people from Tanjavur or Tanjore, Chinnaya, Ponnaya, Vadivelu, Shivanandam. They were the ones who gave the rules for Bharatanatyam. Okay, four famous teachers. And what is the accompanying music in Bharatanatyam? Carnatic music. And then we have various musical instruments like cymbals, mridanga, flute, veena, violin. They all accompany, Bharatanatyam dance. So it is shown in the form of sculpture, painting, icon making, that is idols, etc. There are two famous styles of Bharatanatyam, Pandanallur and Tanjavur, two styles of Bharatanatyam. And we have this lady called Rukmini Devi Arundale. Rukmini Devi Arundale, along with a freedom fighter called V. Krishna Iyer. E. Krishna Iyer. They were the ones who gave respectability to Bharatanatyam. They removed the erotic element from Sadir, and they gave it respectability. Rukmini Devi Arundale, the wife of George Arundale, and E. Krishna Iyer. Bala Saraswati is called the queen of Bharatanatyam. And then there are other exponents, like Mrinalali Sarabhai, that is the wife of Vikram Sarabhai, the space scientist, Indrani, Yamini Krishnamurti, Leela Sampson, Shanta Rao, etc. This is Bharatanatyam for you. Did you understand? Bharatanatyam. So there is a website. You go on YouTube. After the class, okay, and you type classical dances of India. Classical dances of India. You type that on YouTube. Go on the YouTube channel. You type classical dances of India. You get some videos, right? You can watch those videos. You will get some more information. You'll get to see those dances, etc. So classical dances of India, right? So just type that YouTube. So there's one I don't know a website called www Wild Films or something like that. Wildfilms.com. So they have nicely captured all these classical dances in about 10-15 minutes. You get to see all these classical dances of India, along with some explanation given below as the video is running. Okay, wildfilms.com or something like that. So YouTube classical dances of India. So this is Bharatanatyam. So what we need to understand is, from the exam point of view, apart from this information, you need to know what does it represent. So, for example, what does Bharatanatyam represent? Bharatanatyam represent. Okay, then I'll come to that. Then whether it's a male dance or a female dance, or it is done by both. So which is a male dance only, which is a female dance only, or done by both. So we need to know that, right? So you just take down some extra points. Bharatanatyam, about Bharatanatyam, apart from what is there in the PPT. I'm sure you'll find more in your books. Bharatanatyam. So earlier it was a solo female dance. Earlier it was a solo female dance, Bharatanatyam, but now done by both males and females, and it is represented by fire. It symbolizes fire. Bharatanatyam symbolizes fire. Symbolizes fire. Bharatanatyam. Earlier it was a solo. Earlier a solo female dance. Earlier a solo female dance. Jenny, the teacher was a male. The teacher was a male, but then the students were females, and it was done by it was a solo female dance. Now done by both men and women. Now both sexes do it. Now both sexes do it. Okay, so it symbolizes fire. Earlier solo female dance. Now both sexes are into it. Okay, so this is Bharatanatyam. Then we come to Kathakali. So Kathakali, it's from Kerala. It's called the Ballet of the East, I believe. Ballet of the East. It evolved from two dance forms: Theyam, a ritual dance from Malabar, Theyam, and Kalaripayattu, that is the martial art form of Kerala. So it evolved from these two dances. Kathakali from Kerala, Theyam and Kalaripayattu. So green, you have the dancer paints himself. The dancer paints himself. Green represents good. That is, it represents good, and black represents evil in this dance. So it shows the eternal conflict between good and evil in a grandiose manner. right? In a grand manner, the eternal conflict between good and evil. It's called Ballet of the East, Kathakali from Kerala. So mudras play an important role. Mudras and the songs are sung in the backstage. Mudras are gestures, gestures by hand, eyes. You have use of eyes, eyebrows, and it is performed in an open air stage, not in a closed stage, but an open air stage, Kathakali. Now, one aspect of Kathakali is the Tirunottam. What is Tirunottam? Even the evil character is shown in a grandiose manner. For example, if Ravana comes onto the stage, he is shown in a very grand manner, a grandiose manner. So Tirunottam, it gives an epic grandeur even to evil characters. So the person who revived this dance form was Valathol Narayana Menon. Valathol Narayana Menon. He revived this dance form and gave it a institutional support. He established what is known as Kala Mandalam. Kala Mandalam in 1930, right? And these are the various exponents: Kunju Kurup, Koppan Nair, Ragini Devi, Shanta Rao, Mrinalali Sarabhai, Krishnan Nair. So this is about Kuchipudi. Sorry, this is about Kathakali, right? Which one? So just take down Kathakali. It's a all male troupe performance. Extra points, please take on Kathakali. Kathakali, extra points. So it's a all male troupe performance. All male troupe performance. TROUPE. So please understand, even if it's a dance question in UPSC, it will be set by a history teacher. It will not be done by a dancer. So don't worry about it. They'll not ask you technical aspects. What is supposed to be understood by a general candidate of UPSC, right? So it will be done by a history teacher, not by a dancer. And generally, history teachers are not into dancing and all that. Generally, okay. So they might be listening to music though. So we'll come back here. So all male troupe performance, Kathakali. It is called Ballet of the East. Language used. I'll use another page. Can I use another page, or shall I use this page? I'll use another page. So Kathakali. So here it's a all male group performance. All male troupe performance. It's called Ballet of the East. Ballet of the East. Language used in Kathakali. What is the language used? So songs are sung in the backstage when the performers are doing it on the stage. So the song is sung in the backstage. The language used is Mani Pravalam. Mani Pravalam. So what is this Mani Pravalam? It's a combination of Malayalam and Sanskrit. Mani Pravalam. So it's a mixture of Malayalam plus Sanskrit. Malayalam and Sanskrit. So that is called Mani Pravalam. That is the language used in Kathakali. There are 9 facial expressions in Kathakali called Navarasas. 9 facial expressions. Navarasas. Then it's an open air theater type of a dance. So generally performed in open air theater. It symbolizes sky or ether. So Kathakali symbolizes sky or ether, and exclusively performed by men. So it's an all-male troupe performance. Kathakali is an all-male ballet of the East. East is Orient. Yasin, not Eastern India. Kerala is in the West. Everybody knows that. But then it is, ballet of the East. East is the eastern part of the hemisphere. Orient, as it is called, eastern part of the hemisphere. So what is Tirunottam? Tirunottam is even the evil character is shown in a grandiose manner. I told you, Ravana, when he is shown on the stage, he appears in a grand manner. Okay. He appears in a grand manner. Like Rama would appear in a grand manner on the stage. Even the evil character is shown in a grand manner. That's called Tirunottam. So symbolizes sky. The ether is sky. Stephen, it symbolizes sky or ether, and it's an all-male troupe performance. Bharatanatyam is popular in Tamil Nadu, even in Andhra and Karnataka, South India. Bharatanatyam is popular in South India, but all over the world now. It was the first classical dance which was taken abroad and given an element of a theater. So it was performed as a theater dance, Bharatanatyam. So did you get me here? Kathakali. So this is about Kathakali. You just once the class gets over, you go on YouTube when you're having breakfast, and then watch these videos of classical dances of India. 10-15 minutes you get that videos. Kathakali. So this is Kathakali. And we'll go on to next dance. Mohini Attam. Mohini Attam. So this is again from Kerala. Mohini Attam. The Mohini Attam from Kerala. Now you remember Bhasmasura story. I told you Bhasmasura story. That is Vishnu, Shiva gives a bone to Bhasmasur, that on whosoever head he keeps his palm, that person is burnt to ashes. And Bhasmasura wants to check out whether it really works, and he tries to put his hand on Shiva's head itself. And Shiva starts running for his life, and then Vishnu takes the form of Mohini and saves Shiva. And he kills he kills Bhasmasur, and he saves Shiva that way. So Mohini is a dance of the enchantress. So Mohini is also the dance of the enchantress. The rules of this Mohini Attam it was done by Maharaja Swati Tirunal of Travancore. So he was the one who is supposed to have created this. Generally believed that it was developed during his period, and most of the songs are also created by Maharaja Swati Tirunal of Travancore. So it has elements of Bharatanatyam as well as Kathakali. It's a solo dance performed by girls. So Mohini Attam is a solo dance. It's a solo dance done by girls. Solo dance of girls, right? So a costume and makeup are distinctive and refined, characterized by rotating movements, no heavy stamping, no rhythmic tension, and a graceful heave of the torso available. The main exponents are Suranda Nair, Vaijanti Malabali. Vaijanti Malabali was a very old actress, yesteryear actress, 1960s, 50s, 60s actress. Shanta Rao, Hema Malini, Kanak Rele. So Kanak Rele was recently in the news. I have put a note on Kanak Rele. I'll come to that. So this is about Mohiniyattam. So Mohiniyattam is it symbolizes air. Mohiniyattam symbolizes air. Symbolizes air. And there's a part of Mohiniyattam called Attavakul. So what is Attavakul? Attavakul or Attavus. So these are collection of 40 basic dance movements. Attavakul, collection of 40 basic dance movements. Collection of 40 basic dance movements. That is called Attavakul. Atavakul or Attavus. Symbolizes air. So elements are the part of the dance, Yasin. They are all part of the dance. Okay, it has elements. Elements is which features. It has elements of Bharatanatyam as well as Kathakali. Elements is that. Okay, Yasin. So this is Mohiniyattam. Now, what is the reason? So recently, about a year back, February 2023, this lady called Kanak Rele. So she was in the news. She was in the news. So I put this note. It was in the newspapers. So she died in Bombay on February 23rd, 2023, about a year back. And she was 85 years. And she was an exponent of Mohiniyattam. Now, one of the reasons as to why Mohiniyattam has not become popular is it's a very slow dance movement available. So it is Druta, Madhyama. So the speed of Mohiniyattam is equal to Madhyama, very slow dance. So people get bored with this dance. Kathak is faster. It is in the fourth speed. Duta is fourth speed. So it is, whereas Mohiniyattam is done in a very slow manner. So therefore people lose interest because of the slow movement of the dance. And secondly, all the songs sung in Mohiniyattam are in Malayalam language. So therefore, Mohiniyattam has not become popular outside Kerala because very few people know Malayalam outside Kerala. So that is another reason why Mohiniyattam has not become popular. One is that it is a very slow dance, equal to second speed, that is Madhyama, and also all the songs are sung in Malayalam language on the stage. Therefore, it has not become popular outside Kerala. So this is about Mohiniyattam, right? Mohiniyattam represents air, Mohiniyattam. Then we come to another dance. So you can see here Mohiniyattam. Then we come to Kuchipudi. Kuchipudi is from Kerala. So this is from the region of Kuchelapuram or Kuselavapuri in Andhra Pradesh. Kuchelapuram or Kuselavapuri in Andhra Pradesh. So then generally it was enacted by Brahmins in temples. So earlier it was a dance drama enacted by Brahmins in temples called Bhagavatalus. So these Brahmins were called Bhagavatalus. So they were the ones who performed this dance drama. So it talks about Krishna's life by dance and drama. So basically talks about Krishna's life. Then we have a person called Siddhendra Yogi. In the 14th and 15th century, he revived this dance form and he composed the Bhama Kalapam, which is supposed to be part of the Kuchipudi dance repertoire. So Bhama Kalapam. Indrani Rahman popularized it. Indrani Rahman. So Kuchipudi has certain elements which are very interesting. One is Manduka Shabdam, story of the frog maiden. Bala Gopala Taranga. That is, the dancer, is holding a plate, a brass plate, with his legs, the toes of his leg, and is dancing on the brass plate. So that is, so you can see here so you can see on your screen, to the right of your screen. So this dancer is standing on a brass plate, and he or she is dancing. Okay, holding the tip of the brass plate with his toes or with her toes. So that is called Talachitra, Balagopala Taranga. That's called Balagopala Taranga. The involving dance with the feet on the edges of a brass plate. And then Talachitra Nritya, you can see it on your screen. This dancer, while the Kuchipudi dance is going on, begins to draw with his or her legs drawings on the floor with the help of rangoli, or kumkum, with the help of that red kumkum or turmeric. They will start drawing a picture. For example, Kuchipudi dance is going on, and by the end of the dance, let us say you look at on the floor. You look at on the floor, you will see a picture of maybe Ganesha. God Ganesha has been drawn with a leg, or some other goddess has been drawn with a leg. So that is very unique to Kuchipudi. So one is dancing on the brass plate, another is drawing with the legs. A particular painting with the feet while the dance is going on. That is called Talachitra Nritya. So very unique to Kuchipudi, strictly a male preserve. But then it was the female dancers, Yamini Krishnamurti, Swapna Sundari, Shobha Naidu. They are the ones who made it very popular. Theme is Krishna and Rukmini stories. Okay. So it depicts Krishna's life through music and drama. This is Kuchipudi. Are you there with me? Kuchipudi. Yeah, these are different pictures. Yeah, two different pictures. That is true. These are different pictures. Yatra, these are different pictures. So I told you, just go on the video on YouTube and type classical dances of India, and you get some videos. You can watch them, and they have shown you this. So this is Kuchipudi. It was earlier male Brahmins used to do it. So Kuchipudi, earlier male Brahmins called Bhagavatulus. Earlier, male Brahmins performed it. Now it is done by both males and females. Now, also females participate. Right? It's a team performance. Kuchipudi is a team performance. Very interesting. It's a team performance. It's a dance drama performance. Dance drama performance. And there's one particular aspect of the Kuchipudi called Daru. What is Daru? Not what Daru we are used to now in Hindi movies. This Daru is principal characters reveal themselves with a small dance song performance. Like, for example, if Sita is coming on the stage, Sita introduces herself to the audience through a small dance song performance. Similarly, Rama is coming on the stage. So Rama introduces himself with a small dance song performance to the audience. Ravana also does the same, like that. So that's called Daru. Initially, Rajesh, initially it was the Brahmin community called Bhagavatulus. Male Brahmins performed it. Now everybody performed. So Daru is principal characters. Principal characters reveal themselves. See, nowadays you must have seen, you have so many dance programs coming on TV, on national TV. So even local, channels also have these dance programs. The classical dances are not there. It's more of gymnastics. It's more of gymnastics mixed with, fast music. Of course, I'm not saying that it is easy to do those things, but then these are much more difficult. You require 10 years, 15 years of practice to get perfect in Bharatanatyam. And still there will be experts who will say that you did not perform this aspect properly or that aspect properly. Whereas, with respect to whatever is coming on TV nowadays, it's more of gymnastics. You don't require much of, perfection in that. You can become perfect in a few years time or few months time if you have a very flexible body. So Daru, principal characters reveal themselves with a small dance song performance. With a small dance song performance. Right. So this is about Kuchipudi in Andhra Pradesh, from Andhra Pradesh. Are you there with me? So it was earlier a male preserve, now done by both males and females. Kuchipudi. There's no symbol for this. Proponents of Kuchipudi, you can see here, exponents Vempati Chinna Satyam, Vedantam Satyanarayana, etc. Vempati Chinna Satyam, Vedantam Satyanarayana, etc. These are the exponents of Kuchipudi. Then we come to another dance, that is Odissi. Odissi is from Odisha state. This is the oldest of the classical dances. Oldest of the classical dances. Out of the 8 classical dances of India, this is the oldest. How do we know this is the oldest? Because in the hills of Khandagiri, Udaygiri in Orissa, we have in the caves the paintings of these dance. So it was encouraged by the Jain king of Orissa, Karavela. So in the caves of Udaygiri, Khandagiri, we have panels of music and dance. So that's where we trace the origin of Odissi. It was patronized by King Karavela. It was called Odra Nitya. So whatever is in the Natya Shastra as Odra Nitya probably refers to Odissi. Now, unfortunately, even this was performed by Devadasis. In Odisha, this was done by Devadasis. Devadasis were called Maharis. So it is a solo dance form. Odissi is a solo dance form. It was done by the Devadasis. So by the 14th, 15th century, Vaishnavism became popular in Odisha. Vishnu Bhakti, Krishna Bhakti became popular. And the And the Vaishnava saints, the followers of Krishna and Vishnu, they felt that it is not respectable to have Maharis, Devadasis, perform this dance. Because of, unfortunately, because of the the profession they were into. So because of that reason, you have young boys called Gotipuas. Young boys were trained to perform this dance called OTC. These young boys came to be called Gotipuas. They were dressed like females and they were made to dance. So you have young boys called Gotipuas. They were taught this dance and dressed like a female and they were made to dance. So this is Odissi dance. So Odissi is called mobile sculpture, I believe. There is the Tribanga posture is innate to Odissi. Tribanga, three bent body. The body is bent in three places. Remember, I have done Harappan civilization. We have the bronze dancing girl, which has been found at Mohenjo-daro. So she is standing in a Tribanga posture, three bent body. So this three bent body is innate to Odissi dance. These are some of the elements of Odissi dance: Batu Nritya, Pallavi, Tharijam, Moksha, Trikhanda, Majura. These are some of the important elements of the Odissi dance. Theme is again Krishna Radha love. Centers Puri Jagannath Temple, Konark Sun Temple, Bhubaneswar. Modern revival is credited to Indrani Rahman. So Indrani Rahman revived it. Who are the other exponents of Odissi? Samyukta Pranigrahi, Kelucharan Mahapatra, Sonal Mansingh, Priyambada, Mohanty, etc. So this is Odissi. No, according to no, I never said that, Satyam. See, we know that Odissi is the oldest classical dance. So initially, for what reason dance is performed? Initially, basically all the classical dances you have seen show the competition between, or the between good and evil, between good and bad, God and demon, and ultimately it is the God or the good forces which win against the evil forces. So that is what it is depicted. Okay, in the dance, right, in the classical dances. Oldest is Odissi. Because we have proof, proof about Odissi in the Khandagiri Udayagiri caves. Satyam, right? Now, Odissi symbolizes water. So, write on that extra points. Odissi symbolizes water. It symbolizes water. So, earlier done by Gotipuas, young boys. Now, both male and females dance this. Earlier, Gotipuas used to do this. Gotipuas, young boys. Now, both male and female. Satyam, as far as I know, as far as my knowledge goes, the oldest classical dance is Odissi. We have evidence of Odissi in the Khandagiri Udayagiri caves. I mentioned it here, right? So earliest traces of Odissi is found there. Now, come back here. So this is about Odissi. Then we come to Kathak. So it was done by the Kathakaras, original Ras Leela of Brajabhumi, Uttar Pradesh. So you have storytellers of Krishna through music and dance and gestures. That is called, those are the Kathakaras, and that's from where the word Kathak comes from. Kathak comes from there, from the Kathakaras or storytellers who recited verses from epics with gestures and music. Theme is Radha Krishna legend. Main theme of the Kathakaras, Radha Krishna legend. So you have rhythmic footwork and pirouettes. So basically, Kathak was done in temples, initially done in temples. Later, it was taken from temples to courts when with the coming of Muslim rule in India, North India. So Kathak was introduced in the royal courts, and later in the Baitak Khanas. Baitak Khanas are where you have rich zamindars. No, they'll relax in the evenings in their big halls. So they'll call their friends. They'll sit on the floor with alcohol and other food, etc., and they'll make the dancer dance. So it became lascivious. That is the female. They're all drunken men looking at a female dancing. So they will be looking at her with drunken eyes, right? So and of course you have pirouettes. Pirouettes became part of Kathak. Pirouette is turning round and round, and also the dress changed. Initially performed in temples. With the coming of the Muslims, we have the the something like a chudidar worn, but this is a much more shorter skirt, slightly below the knees, and then you have pirouettes, which is part of the Kathak. The pirouette is going round and round. So here, rhythmic footwork and pirouettes. Knees are not bent. Costumes are both Indian and Persian styles. Under Mughal rulers, it was taken from temples to courts. And then you have chakkars, spins, which became part of Kathak because of the influence of whirling dervishes. You have the Sufi saints, who would also dance. So they would dance going round, right? So later it degenerated into lascivious styles, what is called nach. Nowadays it is also used. The word item number is used. So that is called nach. So it degenerated into lascivious styles called nach, right? And you have some gharanas. Gharanas are the lineage. The teacher will teach Kathak to his students in a particular format, and then the students later, some of them will become teachers, and they'll continue the lineage of the guru, whatever they've learned. That's called gharana system. So we have Lucknow, Banaras, Jaipur, and Raigad gharanas based on Hindustani music. The music is Hindustani. Nawab Wajid Ali Shah practiced this form of dance. The Nawab of Awadh, Wajid Ali Shah. Both men and women take part in Kathak. Okay, and you have Jugalbandi. Jugalbandi is competition between the tabla player and the dancer, the Kathak dancer. That's called Jugalbandi. So, what are the elements of Kathak? Ananda, Tat, Todas, Tukdas, Padhant, Tarana, Kramalaya, etc. These are all the elements of Kathak, part of the Kathak, the technical aspects of Kathak. Yeah, good morning, Kashish. So, this is Kathak. Kathak. Hello, are you there with me? So, factual topic this is, but then again, some things are important. So from temples, it was taken to courts and later to the Baitak Khanas of the zamindars. So it became lascivious or came to be called nach. Then we come to, so we have, so here one part of Kathak is this Gat Bhav. Gat Bhav, dance without any music or chanting. Then music is Drupad music. So Kathak is generally accompanied by Drupad music. Drupad music. Then the person who revived this Kathak is Lady Leela Soki or Menaka. Famous exponents of Kathak, Sitara Devi, Birju Maharaj, Sambhu Maharaj, Shobana Narayan, Gitanjali Lal, etc. So these are the various exponents of Kathak dance. So this is Kathak, you can see. The dress also changed with the coming of Mughal rule. Dress also changed. Kathak. Gharana system, Zeba Gharana system is the lineage. That is, Lucknow Gharana, Banaras Gharana, a type, they will teach you Kathak, but they have their own rules of Kathak. So that tradition is where the Guru passes on the tradition of Kathak, Lucknow Gharana to his students or to his or her students, and they in turn will become, some of them will become teachers. And they'll carry the tradition, what they have learned from their Guru. That's called Gharana system. A lineage, Guru Shishya Parampara, as it is called. Guru Shishya Parampara. Did you get me, Zeba? The same technique of dancing is taught. Lucknow Gharana, Banaras Gharana, Jaipur Gharana, like that. Then we come to Manipuri. So Manipuri, classical dance of Manipur. Origin again Bhakti movement. The theme is Radha Krishna romance, Ras Leela, Radha Krishna romance, and also popular love tale of Kamba Tobi of Meiti legends. So you have this tribe called Meiti, and you have a love story of Kamba and Tobi. So that is also depicted in the form of Manipuri dance. So here the music is provided by a drum called Pung, I believe. So there's a drum called Pung. So here basically the theme is Radha Krishna love. You can see here this is Manipuri dance. Manipuri dance. A theme is Radha Krishna. Here gopis wear red dress. You can see I mentioned it here. Gopis wear red dress. Radha is in green always. And then the male dancer, who is a Krishna, wears saffron dress. So Radha is in green. Krishna, who is a male, he is in saffron dress. And gopis are in red dress. Limited use of mudras. Dancer wears no ankle bells. Gestures are almost nil. Face to remain absolutely immobile. Face to be immobile. So slow and gracious movements of hand and knee position. So this is Manipuri. Then you have the Nagabandha Mudra. What is Nagabandha Mudra? The body is curved in the shape of an 8. So the body of the dancer is shown in the form of a curve, in the shape of an 8. That's called Nagabandha Mudra, which is part of Manipuri dance. Then we have poet Rabindranath Tagore. He introduced this form of dance in Shantiniketan, and it became very, very popular after that. So Rabindranath Tagore initiated the study and performance of Manipuri in the Shantiniketan, in his school, college, that is the educational institution, and it became popular. Exponents, Zaveri sisters, Nayana, Darshana, Survarna, Ranjana, the Zaveri sisters, Charu Mathur, Sadone, Bose, etc. So this is Manipuri. Kathak, everything doesn't have any symbol. Kathak doesn't symbolize anything. Whatever had to symbolize, I have told you. Okay, Kathak doesn't symbolize anything. Okay, and then we come to Satriya dance. Satriya dance is from Assam. Satriya, it was introduced by Srimanta Shankara Deva in the monasteries called Satras. So we have a Vaishnava philosopher, saint of Assam called Srimanta Shankara Deva. So he introduced this form of dance in Vaishnava monasteries called Satras, and that's probably from where the word Satriya comes from. So, so it is an amalgamation of various dance forms of Assam, I believe, like Ojapali and Devadasi. It includes Nritya, Natya. Strict rules are there, rhythmic symbols, syllables, hand gestures, footwork. Then male monks, generally done by male monks called bokots. Okay, so male monks, they are the ones who perform Satriya dance called bokots. And the songs are composed by Shankaradeva. They are called Borgeets. So they perform the dance to songs composed by Shankaradeva called Borgeets. Okay, so accompanying instruments, drum called khol, cymbals, manjira, flute. So males wear dhoti and pagodi, females traditional jewelry. So traditionally done by male monks, now even females do. So males wear turban, dhoti and pagodi or turban, and females traditional jewelry, guri and chadors made of part silk, and waistcloth is worn by both men and women. They both wear waistcloth. So this is Satriya dance. You can see Satriya. This is introduced by Srimanta Shankara Deva in Assam. Okay, so there are two types of Satriya dance, Gayan Bayan Nach and Karmanar Nach. Right, this is about Satriya dance. Pagudi is a turban. You can see Pagudi. Pagadi, in Pagadi as it is called in North India, Pagadi is a turban. Yasin. Pagudi. Right? Satriya. Then Chow. So I have mentioned here, you can see Chow dance, the Ministry of Culture. This is Chow dance. They wear masks in this. You can see the people are wearing masks and they're dancing. So I have put a mask here separately. So Chow is characterized by usage of mask. So according to the Ministry of Culture, this is also one of the classical dances of India, though the Sangeet Natak Academy doesn't recognize this. Chow dance is from Orissa, Jharkhand and West Bengal, eastern part of India. So their theme is again from the epics Ramayana, Mahabharata, Puranas, etc. So this is about Chow dance. So go through it. Chow dance, right? Then we come to folk dances of India. So we have different folk dances, and they are classified into occupational, seasonal, martial, devotional, ritualistic. So um, different types of folk dances. So each part of India has different folk dances. As you can see on your screen, Uttar Pradesh, for example, Nautanki, depicting social theme. Chapperi at Dasara it is performed. So it's difficult to remember all these things because there's so many folk dances in India. I can understand that. That whatever is in the news, be very careful about that. Whatever is in the news, current affairs, be careful about that. Bihar, Katputili, Jata Jatin, Jatra, like that. Then Rajasthan, Gangore in honor of Parvati, Ginad, done before Holi, Ghumar, that song was also there, isn't it? I think Padmavati movie, Ghumar, Ghumar, Ghumere, the dance, that become popular. That is from Rajasthan. Ghumar, then Chakri Serpent dance, right? Hello, are you there with me? I don't know how to teach this topic. Believe me, dance topic. It's not my cup of tea, dance, but I'm trying my best. Hello, are you there with me? Khayal, Gopka, Leela, Julan Lella. So different folk dances from different parts of India. So then Bhavai, this is 7-pot folk dance. Understand such things you remember, please. Everything difficult to remember. But some things are very unique. For example, Bhavai from Gujarat, it's a 7-pot folk dance. So they'll keep 7 pots on their head, the women, and they'll dance. That's called Bhavai. Garba, done during Navaratri and Holi, Garba dance. So Asait Thakur is supposed to have created this dance called Garba. Dandiya Ras, I'm sure everybody knows, Dandiya with sticks that's played. Uh, Dandiya dance. Then Maharashtra, Tamasha and Lavani, popular in Maharashtra. This was in the news also. Tamasha is called spectacle. So Tamasha is performed in the rural areas of Maharashtra. Poor people, this dance brings about the plight of the poor people of Maharashtra. It's a source of entertainment for the poor Maharashtrian. And it became later popular in Gujarat and Goa also. Tamasha dance. Artists have traditionally been rural people. And what about Lavani? Lavani is, you can see on your screen, Lavani, again, this was in the news some time back. So they wear 9-yard saris. And that is called Navari in Marathi language. Navaris. So the women wear 9-yard long saris and they dance. And this was done initially to entertain the soldiers during campaigns. Became popular during Peshwa Bajirao the first, I believe. So when the Peshwa army would be going from one place to another place, they'll be taking rest between their wars. So that is the time when these women would come and they will dance wearing those 9-yard saris. So that is the time it was introduced. It became popular. It was to entertain the soldiers during their breaks in fighting. Became popular during the Peshwa era. But of late, it has become, it is looked down upon because of this kind of lavani, that is erotic kind, shringarik, with, lyrics are often teasing, sensuous dance steps are there. So most of the audience are males who are seeing this. Nowadays, even females see lavani. So the erotic kind is looked down upon by the traditional lavani exponents. So this is lavani from Maharashtra. Then Kerala Kudiyattam, the Sanskrit theatre tradition of Kerala, Kudiyattam. Kai Kottikali, by girls and women at Onam, I believe. Kai Kottikali. Ottam Tullal, it is called Poor Man's Kathakali in Kerala. Then Tappatrikali, Shiva worship dance. There's one called Sita Kali also. Sita Kali is also from Kerala. Sita Kali dance is from Kerala. The theme is from Ramayana about Sita, until she goes to the heavens, she joining her husband to the forest, and ultimately, later she ascends to the heaven because her husband doubts her. So that is called Sita Kali. The theme is that. So Tapitra Kali, Shiva worship dance. In Tamil Nadu, you have so many folk dances: Kolatam, stick dance by girls; Pinnal Kolatam, Kavadi Attam, that is temple dance; Karagam, temple dance of Tamil Nadu; Kummi, that is girls and women in circle move clapping; Dummi, that is a horse dance in temples. So they wear something like a horse, legs are, of course, humans, but then they wear that sort of a doll, around their waist with a horse face, and they dance. Then Karnataka, we have Suggi Kunita, harvest dance of Karnataka. Yakshagana, popular in the coastal areas, mostly done by males. Only it's a all-male troupe performance, dance drama performance. The theme is Mahabharata Ramayana. Footwork is very important, and they wear yellow and red colored clothes, yellow and red colors. So males themselves dress like females and dance. This is Yakshagana, popularized by Shivaram Karant. Shivaram Karant, he got the Kendriya Sahitya Academy Award for this reason. Or Kendriya Natak Academy for this reason. Yakshagana Bayalata. He wrote a book called Yakshagana Bayalata, for which he got a Kendriya Sahitya Academy Award. Shivaram Karant. In the Ministry of Culture website, Yasin, in the Ministry of Culture website, if you go to the website of Ministry of Culture, it is given as Chow. Chow is also included as a classical dance, but it is not recognized by the Sangeet Natak Academy. Yeah, Kota Shivaram Karant. Dikshit, as far as I know, Yakshagana, there are no females. It's a male, or it's a male dance. No, or Yakshagana is done by only males who dress like females. Cross-dressing is there. It's a fully male troupe. Pretty popular whole night. It goes on in the coastal areas on important occasions. Yakshagana. Then Andhra Pradesh, Ganta Mardala, Banjara, then Jammu Kashmir, Rauf. So go through it, performed by women at harvest time, Rauf in Jammu Kashmir. Himachal Pradesh, I have given you a list of folk dances of Himachal Pradesh. Then Haryana, Ghumar, Pag, Ras Leela, etc. Then Punjab, harvest dance performed by women, Giddha. This is Giddha, done by only women, Giddha, you can see. Bhangra is done by both men and women in harvest. It is the harvest time in Punjab. Bhangra, performed by men and women. Not everything is important, Yasir, as I told you. It's difficult to remember everything. Whatever is in the news, you try to remember. And important aspects, important dance like Lavani, Tamasha from Maharashtra, or Yakshagana from Karnataka, like that. Then Ras dances, Manipur, Maharas, Nityaras, Vasantaras, like that. Kamba Tobi depicts love story of Radha and Krishna. Pungcholam, dance with drums from Manipur, Pungcholam, like that. Then we have Kirtan in West Bengal, Jatra. Jatra, devotees of Krishna go in procession to holy places singing and dancing. That's called Jatra. So all these things. Then Theyam. Theyam is performed in Kerala, northern Kerala. It's a ritualistic dance of Kerala and parts of Karnataka also. So Theyam, very interestingly, begins with an Islamic prayer. Very interesting. You see, Theyam is a Hindu dance performed in Kerala, parts of Kerala and Karnataka, but it begins with an Islamic prayer. So I have mentioned this Theyam. So then we have tribal dances of India. You can see different tribes and having different types of dances. So everything is difficult to remember. You can see, remember such things. Chera, bamboo dance. Bamboo dance performed by the Kuki Nagas of Mizoram. So Kuki Nagas perform bamboo dance. Bison dance, Gaur dance performed by the Marias of Madhya Pradesh. Maria tribe perform bison dance from Madhya Pradesh. Such thing you remember. And whatever is in the news, Saila, performed by the Saila men and women of Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh. Then Gonds perform Goncho, like that. Right? So I have put here, dance, tribe, state. Then martial dances, again, roots are in Bharata's Natya Shastra, martial dances. So gods and demons, conflict between gods and demons, martial dances. So Gatka from Punjab. So what I've done is, I put pictures. You can see Gatka. This is Gatka from Punjab, performed by the Nihang community. So the Nihangs were the other ones, a type of Sikh sect. They perform Gatka, it's a martial dance. Then Paika, this is from Bihar. Paika from Bihar. So Paika from Bihar, Tanta from Manipur, Kalaripayattu from Kerala, Cholia from Uttarakhand, Pan Lapsol from Sikkim, Monia and Diwali Paidanda from Bundelkhand. So I have put pictures here so that way you can remember better. Gatka from Punjab, you can see Paika from Bihar. Then Tangta from Manipur, Tangta. Then Kalaripayattu from Kerala. And Kung Fu, it is said that Kung Fu was introduced by a monk from India. And the origin of Kung Fu is from Kalaripayattu. So, Kalaripayattu, very famous in Kerala and made popular in many movies also. So, like for example, you have that movie, which is that Bajirao Mastani, where Bajirao uses a sword, a long blade in his horse. He's sitting on the horse. That's actually a weapon of Kalaripayattu. It's a long blade, which twirls, a long blade. Similarly, they have something called marmakala, marmam. That is as part of Kalaripayattu. If that person hits you in a particular part of the body, that becomes paralyzed. So they know where to hit. On the nerve becomes paralyzed and you cannot move your limbs. So I think one of the great actors of India, Kamal Hassan in a particular movie, I think Indian, it's a very old movie. He made it very, very popular. It's part of the Kalaripayattu tradition. Okay, Tamil movie by Surya. Okay, fine. Yeah, Kirtan. Yeah, Kirtan. Yeah, Kirtan is something like what do you call bhajan? But the bhajan Kirtan Shubhankar. It goes along with bhajan Kirtan, bhajan Kirtan as it is called. Yeah, yeah, Sham. Very much, very much. They are adapt. Everybody cannot do that. A very expert in Kalaripayattu who has learned that only he can do it. Okay. So then, of course, Cholia dance from Uttarakhand. Cholia is a martial dance from Uttarakhand. Remember these. Pang Labsol from Sikkim. Pang Labsol. I'm sure the pictures will help you, just as it helped me to remember things. Then this is Diwari Paidanda and Monia. These are also supposedly martial dances from Bundelkhand, Madhya Pradesh. Diwari Paidanda and Monia. Then Karakattam was in the news sometime back. It's not immediately, about a year back. It was in the news. February 26, 2023. Karakattam. So here, women of Tamil Nadu. It's a folk dance of Tamil Nadu. They wear colorful saris and dance with a pot, karakam, on their head to invoke Mariamman, the goddess of rain. So they have pots on their head and they dance to invoke Mariamman to see that rains happen. So that is Karakattam dance. So such things you remember, whatever is there in the news, right? And we, Durga Devi of Salem, is an expert Karakattam dancer. Right. And this is Cham Lama dance. You can see this is from Himachal Pradesh, Cham Lama. It looks like a foreign country. If you look at those masks and dress people are wearing, you might think it is from Switzerland, but it is very much from India. This is Cham Lama dance. Cham Lama dance performed by Buddhist monks, in Lahore, Himachal Pradesh. It is done by the monks. Classical dances have certain rules, Yasin. Strict rules are there, so they are codified, and you cannot innovate, improvise in them in such dances. Folk dances is from unique to various parts of India. Change of seasons, occupational, doing festivals, etc. These are the dances. Martial dances, martial dance is martial dance. That is also supposedly mentioned in the Natya Shastra of Bharata. Martial dances. So, right. Then this idol of Shiva, in Ashtadhatu, Nataraja idol was made. It was installed outside the Pragati Maidan during the Bharat Mandapam International Exhibition, Bharat Mandapam International Exhibition Convention Center during the G20 summit. During the G20 summit, 9th, 10th September 2023. So this is a 27-foot tall statue, 27 feet tall, 18-ton weight. It weighs 18 tons. And this is made of Ashtadhatu. Ashtadhatu is 8 metals. Ashta is 8. Combination of 8 metals. And Radha Krishnan, Stapati of Swami Malai, Tamil Nadu, and his team were the ones who made this statue. And we have the family of Radha Krishnans who are supposed to be making such idols from 34 generations. From the Chola period, they have been making idols. The Radhakrishnan family, Radhakrishnan Stapati family. So this is the biggest Ashtadhatu statue in the world of Nataraja, 18-ton weight, 27 feet tall. So this was in the news. I put it here. Right. Let us look at some of the questions. Consider the following statements. It is a classical dance form which was originated in the temples of Tamil Nadu. It is considered to be a fire dance, commonly performed by women. The music of this dance belongs to the Carnatic music. So you already know the answer, I suppose. The above mentioned answer is Bharatanatyam. Bharatanatyam C is the answer. And the explanation is given here. The explanation is there in the next page. Please go through it. Then consider the following statements about Sita Kali. Sita Kali dance. It's a modern folk art form that originated in Kollam in Kerala. So this is correct. The art was first performed by the people of the Irava community. This is wrong. It was performed by this community. It's here in the answer. You can see here. Vedar and Pulayar communities. It is performed by the Vedar and Pulayar communities, not by the Iravas of Kerala. So that's wrong. It is inspired by scenes from the Indian epic Ramayana. This is correct. So how many statements are correct? Only 2 are correct. So 2 is correct. B is the answer. Sita Kali. So the details are here. Go through it. So it is supposed to have started in Perinad in Kollam region of Kerala. It's from Kollam region of Kerala. That is correct. Inspired by the Indian epic Ramayana. The Yakshagana is a traditional folk theatre dance form that is immensely popular in, of course, Karnataka, Yakshagana. And I have given the details of Yakshagana here. It is a male preserve done by the males in the coastal regions of Karnataka, usually performed by men. Dressed in elaborate costumes. Then Shivarama Karant, so he was a Gnanapit recipient. He was the one who made it very, very popular. His treatise, Yakshagana Bayalata, got the Kendriya Sahitya Academy Award in 1958. So this is Yakshagana. Now, discuss the Tandava dance as recorded in early Indian inscriptions. So UPSC asked this question 2013, 100 words, 5 marks. 100 words, 5 marks. So, Tandava dance. So, discuss the Tandava dance as recorded in early Indian inscriptions. So, what is the significance of the Tandava dance? That's what they've asked. Okay, so see here, this is Shiva has Tandava. On your screen, you can see here, this is the figure of Shiva in the Tandava dance. Shiva is the Lord of Dance, Nataraja. So, you need to understand the meaning of this particular dance posture of Shiva. So, what do you write in this? So, here you see Shiva dances. So, Shiva dances when he is angry and when he is happy. When he is happy, it is called Ananda Tandava. So, what you see here is the Ananda Tandava dance. Ananda Tandava. So, Shiva is happily dancing. Right? When he is very angry, that is called Rudra Tandava. And when he is very, very, very angry, he opens his third eye after dancing. And that is the end of the universe, supposedly, right? So, Ananda Tandava. So, Shiva is shown in the Ananda Tandava posture. He has 4 arms, actually, as you can see on your screen. He has 4 arms. The upper right arm, the upper right hand is holding a drum. You can see on your screen. Upper right hand is holding a drum. Damaru. It's called Damaru. So, it signifies creation. So, Damaru signifies creation. Upper left arm, upper left hand is holding a fire. You can see there's a ball of fire here. So that signifies, fire signifies destruction. Fire signifies destruction. So upper right hand, Damaru, drum, which signifies creation. Upper left arm holding a ball of fire. That signifies destruction. Then Shiva has held his left feet across his right leg. He has held his left leg across his right leg, and he's showing his lower right arm in an Abhaya posture. So lower right hand is like this. This is a sign of benediction. A sign of benediction. That's called benediction, sign of benediction, or Abhaya Hasta. In Sanskrit, it is called Abhaya Hasta. That is, Shiva is telling the devotee, don't worry, I'm there. Don't worry, I'm there. as your savior. But then you can see his left arm, lower left arm, you can see here, lower left arm is pointing towards the feet. The lower left arm is pointing towards his raised feet. So he's telling the devotee, fall at my feet, because only I can save you. So lower left arm is pointing towards his upraised left feet. So he's telling the devotee to fall at his feet because only he can save. And then this is the Abhayasta, the lower right hand, which is a sign of benediction, Abhayasta, right? Now, Shiva is dancing on a demon. You can see on your screen. This is called Moyalaka. So he is dancing on a demon called Moyalaka. Now, this signifies ego. Moyalaka signifies ego. So Shiva is stamping ego, stamping, pressing the person's ego, pressing this person's ego or ignorance. Sometimes it's also called ignorance, ego or ignorance. So for this reason, Shiva is also called Dakshinamurti. That is Lord of Knowledge. Dakshinamurti. That is, Dakshinamurti, here knowledge means the sense of discrimination. Because, a good person might look like a bad person if you lose a sense of discrimination. A rope might look like a snake and a snake might look like a rope. A very bad person might look like a very gentleman and a very, very nice person might look like a crook. So he is the person, Shiva, he is the God who gives you the sense of discrimination. Therefore, he's called Dakshinamurti. So he's stamping out ego and ignorance of the devotee. Right. Now, Shiva is shown in an Ardhanarishwara form. Half male, half female. You can see at the right side, he's got a breast. Okay, this is breast. So this is the female side. And look at the earring. This is the female's earring. Whereas the left side is the male aspect of Shiva. Okay, and you can see the earring. This is a male earring, right? So he is shown in an Ardhanarishwara form. Then Shiva is dancing in a vigorous tempo. He is dancing in an aggressive manner, vigorous tempo. So his matted hair is flying. You can see his matted hair. Matted hair is flying. Right. Then we see the snake. You can see here the snake. His jewelry, the snake, is in a dormant position. You can see the snake there. It is sleeping. So here this signifies the Kundalini. The Kundalini energy, which is in the seventh spine, in everybody's seventh spine, I believe there's a Kundalini, something called Kundalini energy. So if you activate that through yogic practices, through meditation, etc., if you activate that, you get tremendous siddhis, that is energy, power, etc. So this is shown, this Kundalini power is shown in a dormant position. Right? Then Shiva is dancing around a ring of fire. You can see this is a nimbus of flames. So he is dancing around a nimbus of flames, right? That shows the unending cycle of time. Kalaya tasmaya namaha. That is, time and tide. Is saying in English, isn't it? Time and tide wait for none. So here he is dancing around a ring of fire, which signifies the unending cycle of time. This is what is there in the ancient Indian scriptures about the dance, the meaning of the Nataraja dance. And that's what you are supposed to write in the examination. Did you get me? Hello. Yasmin, see, so here, whatever I've just now said, it is there in the model answer. So I'll share that with you. That will be shared today. I'll ask the team to do it. All the answers of all the UPSC questions asked in the mains. I have given you model answers. I'm sure you can write better answers than that. It is just a sort of a reference for you as to what all you could write, what are the points you can mention in the answer, and you can better it. You can better the answers. It's just a model answer. So all the model answers I've given, and it is there in that. Kundalini power is supposed to be the seventh spine, Surya. It is supposed to be the seventh spine in the spinal cord of a person. It's supposed to be the seventh spine. So this is the Nataraja dance. Did you get me? Hello, are you there with me? So Nataraja is, it is always Ananda Tandava. It is always Ananda Tandava. Okay, in the murtis, in the idols, Zeba, in the idols, Shiva is shown in an Ananda Tandava form, happily dancing. Right? So that's the meaning of that. a picture below lower right hand. This is the Muyalaka, the demon. Muyalaka. Right. So you can see this. This is a snake here. You can see the snake here. Snake, right? This is snake. Right. This is about Shiva. Shiva's Ananda Tandava. So he's in an Ardhanarishwara form. Shiva is in an Ardhanarishwara form, half male, half female. Right. So the hole in the lower foundation. No, that is no. Don't take that seriously. That is for fixing it to the base. You're seeing this hole you're talking about. That is the pedestal on which the Nataraja image has been cast, right? And that is to fix it to the ground wherever it is going to be installed. Yasin. So that has got nothing to do with the original, statue. A good observation, though. Yasin, good observation. You have a keen eye. We'll come back here. Roshan, you please don't interpret it. Roshan says it depicts hole in human mind or nowadays. No, please don't write that. Don't write that. It is not true. That's not there in the original, it's not there in the original Nataraja sculpture. But good, Roshan, you have a good sense of humor. Yeah, it will be, today is not the last class. It will be on ending on Friday. It has been extended to Friday. So by Friday, I hope to finish art and culture. Okay. So we'll be continuing tomorrow also, tomorrow, day after. And that should, by Friday, I should finish art and culture. Yeah. Okay. Good. Now we'll come back here. Let's talk about Indian literature. So all of you, are you clear? Indian. So we have finished one topic, Indian dance. We'll come to Indian literature. Now let's talk about this topic, Indian literature. Now, this is again a very factual topic, Indian literature. Indian literature. Now what is this topic about, Indian literature? So first of all, you have to understand about ancient Indian literature. Ancient Indian literature. Then we come to medieval literature. Medieval literature. Now, when it comes to ancient Indian literature, most of the books are written in Sanskrit language. So predominantly, Sanskrit dominates ancient Indian literature. Sanskrit was the language of the Shishtas, that is the elite sections of society. It was the language of the Shishtas, that is elite sections of society, the rich and the influential, the Brahmanas, the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas. Common people were not allowed to learn Sanskrit. So what was the language of the common people? Prakrit. Prakrit was Desha Bhasha. Desha Bhasha means, Desha Bhasha is people's language. Desha Bhasha is people's language. Though Prakrit was the people's language. And there are two dialects of Prakrit. Understand this? Pali is one, and the other is Prakrit. Sorry, the other is Ardha Magadhi. So one is Pali, the other is Ardha Magadhi. So ancient Indian literature, mostly books are in Sanskrit language. And then, of course, we have Prakrit, which was the Desha Bhasha. And we have two dialects of Prakrit, Pali and Ardha Magadhi. So here, and of course, we'll be talking about the Dravidian languages. The Dravidian languages. So the four Dravidian languages, that is Tamil, the oldest Dravidian language, followed by Kannada, the second oldest Dravidian language, Telugu, the third oldest Dravidian language, and Malayalam, the youngest of the Dravidian languages. So Tamil, Kannada, Telugu, and Malayalam. This is your ancient Indian literature. This is your ancient Indian literature. So first of all, we will be discussing about Sanskrit literature. Okay, what are the books written in Sanskrit? So huge body of literature was written in Sanskrit language in the ancient times, right? So we have the Vedic literature. Entire Vedic literature is in Sanskrit language. And this Vedic literature is divided into two parts. Understand this, Vedic literature is in Sanskrit language. So we start our survey of Sanskrit literature with Vedic literature. So we will understand what are the Vedas, okay, who are the ones who compose the Vedas, supposedly the Aryans. Now Vedic literature is divided into two parts. One is called Shruti, understand this, Shruti, and the other is Smriti. Yeah. Harappan, what about Harappan script is not the literature. Harappans, we are not able to read the script, Sham. So when we are not able to read the script, where is the question of literature there? Right, we are not able to read the script. And it is mostly found on clay tablets. We don't have books, isn't it? So mostly found on clay tablets, that is the seals. So you cannot call it as a literature as such. Only some lines are seen. So we'll come back here. So here Vedic literature is divided into Shruti and Smriti. Now what is Shruti? Divinely revealed knowledge. Understand this. Shruti means divinely revealed knowledge. Divinely revealed knowledge. And what are the examples of Shruti? The four Vedas. We have the four Vedas. Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda. Now, what is the understanding here? What is the meaning of divinely revealed knowledge? I believe the gods revealed the knowledge of the Vedas to the sages through the medium of sound. Through the medium of sound, the gods revealed the knowledge of the Vedas to the sages. So when the sages were meditating, they heard a voice, they heard a sound, okay, and they recorded all that, whatever they heard in their mind. And later it was transmitted orally. The knowledge of the Vedas was transmitted orally by the sages to their students. And later it was written down. The Vedas were written down much, much later. So divinely revealed knowledge. Under that, you have four Vedas. We have the Brahmanas, a class of books called Brahmanas. Aranyakas. Aranya in Sanskrit is forest. So these are books which were composed in the forests because of their magical power. So four Vedas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, and the Upanishads. These come under the category of Shruti. They come under the category of Shruti. Right. Then what is Smriti then? Smriti is that literature which is composed by human beings, composed by ordinary human beings. But these are not ordinary human beings, special human beings, composed by humans. For example, we have the Ramayana. Ramayana was written by, you all know, Valmiki. Then Mahabharata, written by Vedavyasa. So like that, we have Smriti, Vedangas, four Upavedas, Dharma Shastras, the law books of India, like Manava Dharma Shastra or Manu Dharma Shastra, Yagnavalkya Smriti, that is the law book of Yagnavalkya. So law books are also called Smritis, Dharma Shastras or Smritis, both are same. So law books of India. So Manava Dharma Shastra, Yagnavalkya Smriti, Narada Smriti, Brihaspati Smriti, okay, Ramayana, Mahabharata, the Upavedas, four Upavedas, Okay, all these come under the category of Smriti, composed by human beings. Okay, so Shruti, Smriti. So we'll be studying about all these things as part of Vedic literature. Then you have a number of kavyas written in ancient India in Sanskrit language. So we'll be making a thorough survey of Sanskrit literature. So kavya means what? Poems. So what are the important poems written in the Sanskrit language in ancient India? Okay, for example, the poems of Kalidasa, Ritu Samhara, Raghuvamsha, Meghaduta, Kumara Sambhava. These are all the poems written by Kalidasa, and you have other poems written by so many other scholars. So poems, kavyas, then nataka, dramas, nataka, dramas. So what are the famous dramas? Like for example, Abhignana Shakuntala, written by Kalidasa, is one famous drama of Kalidasa. So natakas, right? Then Champu. What is Champu? Important Champus. Shatakas. So a type of literature called Shatakas, a type of literature called Champu. So Majalasa Champu, then Shatakas. What are Shatakas? We'll talk about it. Shatakas. Then of course we have scientific literature. Scientific literature written in Sanskrit language. Like for example, Aryabhatta wrote Aryabhatyam, Surya Siddhanta in Sanskrit language. So various books written on sciences, physics, chemistry, astronomy, mathematics, etc. in in Sanskrit language. So scientific literature. Grammar books, Vyakarna, grammar books, right? So all these, and of course we have prose romances. So all these come under the category of Sanskrit literature. Okay, so we'll study about Sanskrit literature. So in ancient India, most of the books were written in Sanskrit language. Then we come to Prakrit. Prakrit, we have two categories here: Pali and Ardha Magadhi. Lord Buddha spoke in Pali. Okay, you all know that. So Buddhist. So we'll be talking about Buddhist literature also. So Buddhist literature. It's in two languages. One is Pali, and the second is Sanskrit. As you all know, from the 1st century AD, fourth council took place. From the fourth council onwards, the Buddhists began to use Sanskrit. So Buddhist literature is in Pali language. So what are the important books in Pali? The three Pitaka, Sutta Pitaka, Vinaya Pitaka, Abhidhamma Pitaka, right? Then the books of Sri Lanka, Dvipavamsha, Mahavamsha, Kulavamsha, etc. So we'll talk about Pali literature. Then important books written by the Buddhists in Sanskrit language. Okay, so all those things. The Buddhist literature. Then we come to Prakrit literature. So here, you have Jains. Jain literature is mostly in the Prakrit language. So Mahavira spoke in Ardhamagadi, so which is a dialect of Prakrit. So most of the books written by the Jains or of the Jain Dharma is in Prakrit language. Okay, some books were also written in Sanskrit. Okay, then we come to Dravidian languages. Tamil. What are the various books written in Tamil language from the Sangam age onwards? So Sangam literature. We'll discuss about Sangam literature. Important books written during the Sangam age, the 5 epics, the early works, the 8 8 short poems, Ettuttogai, like that. Pattu Pattu, 10 idylls, Pattu Pattu Part, Padinankin Kanakku, the 18 minor works, 5 epics like Shilapadigaram, Mani Megalai, Shivagasandamani, etc. So Tamil literature. Then of course we have the Alvars and the Nayanars. Nayanars are the 63 Shaiva saints, Nayanars. So they composed devotional literature in Tamil language in praise of Shiva, called Tevaram or Dravida Veda. Similarly, the Alvars, the 12 Vaishnava saints, composed devotional literature in Tamil language in praise of Vishnu. That's called Nalayira Divya Prabandham. So all those books in Tamil language. Then the Trimurtis of Tamil literature, okay, like Pugalendi and others. The two more are there. So then, of course, Kannada, the important books written in Kannada language. For example, important books written during the Rashtrakuta period, Kaviraja Marga, Vadda Aradhane, Then, of course, we have the development of Kannada literature during Rashtrakuta period, during the Kalyana Charukya period, during the Vijayanagara period, Dasa Sahitya, etc., etc. Important books. The Trimurtis of Kannada literature, Pampa, Ponna, Ranna. What are the books written by them? Similarly, Telugu language and literature. Important books written during the Telugu in the Telugu language. The Ashtadiggajas, who are there in the court of, supposedly in the court of Krishnadevaraya. So his period is called classical phase of Telugu literature. So Mulla wrote the Telugu Ramayana, Mulla, right? All those things. Important scholars of Telugu language and literature. Malayalam. This is your ancient Indian literature. Okay, did you get me? Ancient Indian literature. Then we come to medieval literature. Medieval literature. So in the medieval times, we have promotion of Persian and not Arabic. So we have the establishment of the Delhi Sultanate. Then, of course, even the Mughals came later. Many scholars began to come to India from Central Asia, Bukhara, Khorasan, etc. They began to come to India. So, what is the reason as to why the Delhi Sultans, even the provincial sultanates in Gujarat, Bengal, Deccan, many Muslim rulers established kingdoms? So, not only the Delhi Sultans and the Mughals, even these provincial sultanates promoted Persian and not Arabic. The Holy Quran is in Arabic language, but very few books were written in Arabic in India. Mostly it is in Persian language and literature. What is the reason for that? And what are the various books written in Persian language? Translations, right? Then autobiographies, biographies, encyclopedias, grammar books, etc., etc. So we make a quick, survey of all these things. And what is the reason for the development of Persian literature? And then we come to modern literature. Mostly you study about Bengali literature and Hindi literature. We'll talk about that. I'll tell you what to do regarding that. So this is your entire survey of Indian literature. Mostly factual topic, nothing to think about. So they can ask you match the following. Already they must have given you a match, which is the wrong match they might ask you, or which is the right match they might ask you. Okay, and then or they might ask you to match the author and the book written by that author. Like that they might ask you. Or in the mains they might ask you. For example, they have asked development of literature during the period of Krishnadevaraya. So how he promoted literature, literary activities, and what was the various literary books written during his period. So they have asked you like that. They can ask you in the mains. Or similarly, they've asked you in the mains, what do you know about the society and economy from the Sangam literature of the Sangam age? So what do you know about the society and economy of the Sangam period from the Sangam literature? They've asked you like that. So they can ask you like that. Did you understand? Hello, or what type of questions can be asked? Pictures will come of dance. Pictures will not come from the dance topic. I have put those pictures for our understanding. First of all, my understanding, because I told you dance is not my cup of tea. But then for me to understand, so that I could teach a little bit about dance, I had to put those pictures. And it will help you. I'm sure it will helps everybody. Pictures. So this is about Indian literature, right? So we'll take a break now, 15 minutes break and come back. So what's it, 7:51? We'll meet at 8:05. We meet at 8:05 and start with Indian literature. Okay, so you carry on. We'll meet at 8:05. Good morning. Good morning, all of you. Are you back? Am I audible and visible? Can we start this topic? Indian literature. Okay. So as I told you, I gave you sort of an overview as to what we're going to study in this topic called Indian literature. So let us discuss this PPT here in front of us. Mostly factual in nature, this topic. So I've given you an overview. So here, as you all know, most of the literature in ancient Indian history is in Sanskrit language. So most of the books were written in Sanskrit language. A sea of information is there in Sanskrit language. Then what are the other languages? With the coming of Buddhism and Jainism, we have two more languages, Pali and Prakrit, which came into existence. And these two languages, Pali and Prakrit, are dialects of Prakrit. Pali and Ardhamagadi rather. Pali and Ardhamagadi are dialects of Prakrit. And apart from Sanskrit and Prakrit, we have, of course, so Sanskrit was the Desha Bhasha. Sanskrit was the Shishtas, language of the Shishtas, and Prakrit was the Desha Bhasha, language of the masses. So we have entire Vedic literature in Sanskrit language, and then we have other aspects also. Vedic literature is in Sanskrit language. Shad Darshanas, the six philosophies, six Indian philosophies, they are called Shad Darshanas. Sad means six. Darshana means philosophy. So this is again in Sanskrit language. Dharma Shastras or the law books of India, they're also called Smritis, they are in Sanskrit language. Grammar books, Vyakarana, Puranas, poems or kavyas, prose romances, champus, nataka or drama, didactic literature. What is didactic literature? The author is forcing the reader to think in a particular manner. The author is forcing the reader to think in a particular manner. He's trying to influence the reader through his writing. So that's called didactic literature. Lexicography, collection of dictionaries, scientific literature. These are all various books written in Sanskrit language on various segments. So apart from Sanskrit, we have also Pali and Prakrit. And of course, we have the Dravidian languages, starting from Tamil, then Kannada, Telugu, Malayalam. So this is your ancient Indian literature. And then in medieval times, we have most of the books written in Persian language and some books written in Arabic language. So it was Persian which flourished in the medieval times. So let us discuss this. Audio is breaking. Tra says audio is breaking. What about others? Tra, no problem for others. You probably please check your audio, Tra. Okay, now it is okay. Fine. So let us talk about Vedic literature. Right? I've given you sort of a brief overview. So let us discuss in detail the Veda. So the word Veda is derived from the Sanskrit word Vid, meaning knowledge, to know. Veda means it is derived from the Sanskrit word Vid, meaning to know or knowledge par excellence. So the Vid or knowledge par excellence. Vedic texts are divided to Shruti, that is based on hearing, and Smriti, based on memory. So Shruti is divinely revealed knowledge. Gods are supposed to have revealed the knowledge of this part of the Vedic literature to the sages. So that is called Shruti, divinely revealed knowledge. So what are the books which come under the category of Shruti? Four Vedas. Okay, so it is Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, Atharva Veda. Samhitas is collection of hymns sung in praise of various gods. That is the meaning of Samhita. Rig Veda Samhita, Yajurveda Samhita, Atharva Veda Samhita, like that. Then Brahmana textbooks, Aranyakas, forest books, Upanishads. So all these come under the category of Shruti. Shruti means divinely revealed knowledge. Then we come to Smriti. Smriti is that which has been composed by human beings. Under that we have Vedangas, the limbs of the Veda, Veda Anga, the limbs of the Veda, Upavedas, sub-Vedas, Puranas, epics like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Dharma Shastras, that is the law books, and Niti Shastras. These are all come under the category of Smriti. Okay? So Shruti and Smriti. Have you understood Shruti and Smriti? Shruti is divinely revealed knowledge. Gods revealed the knowledge of these books to the sages, right? That is called Shruti. Smriti is written by human beings. So we'll come to Shruti. First of all, the Vedas, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda. So what does it contain? Rig Veda. Rig Veda is the first text in world literature, first text on Indo-European language. Main theme is prayer addressed to different gods. Totally, it's a collection of 1,028 poems, grouped into 10 books or mandalas. So 1,028 poems divided into 10 mandalas or books. Book 2 to 7 are the oldest books. 2 to 7 are the oldest. 1, 8, 9, 10 were compiled in the later Vedic period. So 1, 8, 9, 10 were written in the later Vedic age. So book 2 to 7 belong to the Rig Veda. They are called family books. They are attributed to sages like Grita Samada, Vishwamitra, Vasudeva, Atri, Bharadwaja, etc. So then we have the Gayatri Mantra. Most important part of the Rig Veda is the Gayatri Mantra. It's composed by sage Vishwamitra. It is addressed to the solar goddess Savitri and is found in Mandala 3 of the Rig Veda. Mandala 3 of the Rig Veda, Gayatri Mantra. Now, even now, the Gayatri Mantra is chanted. I'm sure many of you know the Gayatri Mantra, right? It was supposedly composed by sage Vishwamitra, addressed to the solar goddess Savitri, right? You must have heard about the Gayatri Mantra. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha. It goes like that. Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. So that is the Gayatri Mantra. So as old as the Vedic period. Then we have the term Harayupiya, resembling Harappa. This is in Mandala 6 of the Rig Veda. And the famous Battle of 10 Kings is also described in Mandala 7. So these are the important part of the Rig Veda. Harayupiya is mentioned in Mandala 6, resembling Harappa. Battle of 10 Kings mentioned in Mandala 7. We have discussed Battle of 10 Kings, fought between the Bharata chief Sudas versus a confederation of 10 kings led by Purukutsa of the Puru tribe. It was fought on the banks of the river Ravi. So Sudas dismissed Vishwamitra and appointed Vashishta. So that was the main reason for this particular battle of 10 kings. Mandala 9 is dedicated to Soma. Soma was a god as well as Soma was an intoxicating drink. So out of 120 hymns in Mandala, out of 120 hymns, 114 hymns are dedicated to Soma god. Then Mandala 10, we have the famous Purusha Sukta hymn. That is, what is the Purusha Sukta hymn? Anybody? Purusha Sukta hymn is what? So origin of the four Varnas are there. From the forehead of Brahman, from the forehead arose the Brahmana. From the shoulders of Brahma arose the Kshatriya. From the thighs arose the Shudra. And then from the feet arose from the thighs arose the Vaishya. And from the feet arose the Shudra. So this is the Purusha Sukta hymn, right? Mentioned in Mandala 10 of the Rig Veda. The priest that recites the Rig Veda is the Hotri. Priest that recites the Rig Veda is the Hotri, and the Rig Veda has been included recently in the UNESCO World Human Literature. In the list of World Human Literature, the Rig Veda has been included by the UNESCO. So this is the Rig Veda. Then we come to Sama Veda. Sama Veda, the origin of Indian music, Sangita Shastra, is found in the Sama Veda. So it is derived from the root Saman. Saman means song or melody. It is full of ragas or tunes. The Sama Veda is full of ragas or tunes. It is the first text to deal with Indian music, Sangita Shastra. The main theme is meter or volume called Chandas. The main theme is meter or volume called Chandas. It deals with recitation. The priest that recites the Sama Veda is the Udgatri. So at the Soma sacrifice, he is the one who recites the Udgat, the Sama Veda, the Udgatri. Third is the Yajur Veda. It deals with rituals and ceremonies. It is both in verse and prose. It mentions the royal ceremonies of Rajasuya and Vajapaya for the first time. So these two ceremonies, sacrifices are mentioned in the Yajur Veda. It is both in verse and prose. It is divided to Krishna and Shukla Yajur Veda. And the priest that recites the Yajur Veda is the Adhvaryu. Right? And then we have the Atharva Veda. The Atharva Veda was not considered as part of Veda for a very long time, I believe. Why? Because it was composed by non-Aryans. It was composed by not Aryans but non-Aryans. It deals with witchcraft, sorcery, and invoking evil spirits, black magic, witchcraft, sorcery, all those things it dealt with. Therefore, for a very long time, the Atharvaveda was not considered as part of Veda. But later, it was considered as part of Veda for the following reasons. One is it deals with Ayurveda, Indian medicine. It deals with Ganita Shastra, that is mathematics. Ganita is mathematics. It also deals with Rekha Ganita, that is geometry, Rekha Ganita. And no Brahmin recites the Atharva Veda, right? And it is supposed to be the latest Veda, the Atharva Veda. Then we have the Brahmanas. Brahmanas mainly deal with ceremonies, they are prose commentaries on various Vedic hymns, and they are ritualistic by nature. They explain the hidden meaning behind the hymn symbol, and they are ritualistic by nature. The Brahmanas deal with ceremonies. Aranyakas, so these are forest books. As you can understand, Aranyakas, they are forest books. The knowledge of these books were revealed in the sages in the forest, by the sages in the forest to their students, because of the magical powers they had. Because of the magical power of these mantras or the shlokas, they were revealed by the sages to their students in the forest. Therefore, they are called Aranyakas. They are the concluding part of the Brahmanas, the Aranyakas. Then we have the Upanishads, also known as Vedanta. So Upanishads are also called Vedanta because they came towards the end of the Vedic literature. Vedanta. If you divide it into two parts, Veda Anta, Vedanta. So it comes towards the end or anta of the Vedic period. There are totally 108 Upanishads. Upanishads literally means gaining knowledge by sitting close to the teacher. Knowledge acquired by sitting close to the teacher. That is the literal meaning of Upanishad. They are in the form of dialogues. And they deal with metaphysics. That is abstract thinking. What is abstract thinking? Metaphysics from known to unknown. From known to unknown. For example, what happens when a person dies? What happens to that person after he dies? We don't know. But then Upanishads have an answer. What is the nature of God? Now, when you say God, what is his nature? So such things are called abstract or metaphysics. So known to unknown, all those details are found in the Upanishads. So they are in the form of dialogues, and they're anti-ritualistic in nature, right? Anti-ritualistic. They are condemned the rituals and the sacrifices, the Upanishads, and they give importance to knowledge. So let us look at the important Upanishads. Katha Upanishad, it deals with creation, okay? And this it talks about the student called Nachiketa who went to Yama. So Nachiketa was a boy, young student called Nachiketa. He asked his father, what happens to a person after he dies? So his father did not know the answer. So he sent his son Nachiketa to Yamalok. So Nachiketa goes to Yamalok, and no, Yama was not there. He had gone on his buffalo somewhere. That is his vehicle, isn't it? Buffalo. So Nachiketa waits for Yama to return, and he waits for few days. Then Yama returns, and Yama is very happy because nobody waits for the god of death. And here, this young boy called Nachiketa was waiting for Yama. Then Nachiketa is supposed to ask Yama what happens to a person after he dies. And Yama gave a long discourse, a long story as to what all happens. So this story is there in Katha Upanishad. It deals with creation. Then we have the famous dialogue of or slogan of Swami Vivekananda: "Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached." So this is found in the Katha Upanishad. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Then Jabala Upanishad. It talks about the Varnashrama dharmas, that is the four ashramas: Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa. That is the Jabala Upanishad. Brahmacharya, Grihastha-ashrama, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. So that is found in the Jabala Upanishad, Varnashrama dharmas. Then Brihadaranyaka Upanishad talks about transmigration of souls. What is transmigration of souls? That is, when a person dies, it is only the death of the physical body. The Atma, the soul, is permanent until the person squares off his karmic debts. So if he has more bad karmas than good karmas, then he has to take repeated births until he can square off his karmic debts. That is called transmigration of souls. That is there in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Then Mundaka Upanishad, our national slogan is from there: Satyameva Jayate. Just hold on. The AC is. So the Mundaka Upanishad, it contains our national slogan, Satyameva Jayate. That is, truth alone triumphs. Truth alone triumphs. Right? Then Chandogya Upanishad. Chandogya Upanishad talks about the childhood of Lord Krishna for the first time. So Lord Krishna has a young boy, he stealing the curd and the butter, etc. So all those things, details are there in the Chandogya Upanishad. Yasmin, yeah, it is more factual in nature. So I hope all of you are clear. Is the speed okay? Yasmin finds it a little fast. Important Upanishads. Yeah, I have given you important Upanishads, Yasmin, just in case the UPSC asks you questions. For example, Mundaka Upanishad. From there, we have taken the national slogan Satyameva Jayate. It has been mentioned in our national emblem, isn't it? We have taken the Sarnath lion capital of Ashoka, and around the abacus we have four wild animals, isn't it? You have the inverted lotus, then we have the abacus, the four dharma chakras, where we have four animals: elephant, lion, horse, and bull. Okay, right? Elephant, lion, horse, and bull. So two wild animals have been removed. Elephant and lion have been removed around the abacus. And in place of the elephant and the lion, Satyameva Jayate from the Mundaka Upanishad has been attached. It is not there in the original Sarnath lion capital of Ashoka. We have added it. Okay, so from the Mundaka Upanishad. Uh, so Vasudeva Kutumbakam from Maha Upanishad. Okay, thank you. Then Keno Upanishad talks about Uma or Parvati, that is the wife of Shiva. So that is there in the Keno Upanishad. Then Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Definition of Shiva is found for the first time in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. That is, Shiva is a solitary person, frequents the graveyards, smears ashes on his body, mostly meditating, right? And he's got a snake around his neck, etc., etc. All those details are there in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Yeah, are you there with me? So just understand this. Everything I am saying is not important. Al Hussein, Ashusen, and Shambhavi, Zeba. Are you there with me? Yasmin. So these are all the contents of these Upanishads. They are in the form of dialogues. They deal with abstract thinking, known to unknown. Right? That's why it's called, what do you call, um, metaphysics. Right. So here the Upanishads come towards the end of the Vedic period. They were the ones who criticized the Upanishadic teachers. They are also called Shramanas. The Upanishadic teachers are also called Shramanas. So even before Buddha and Mahavira came onto the scene, we have these Upanishadic teachers who contemplated about life. So in the later Vedic period, as you all know, the emphasis was on elaborate rituals and sacrifices of animals. Thousands and lakhs of animals were being sacrificed to appease the gods, and a lot of money was being spent on the rituals. So the Upanishadic teachers, the sages, they went to the forest and they meditated and they thought about all these things, whether it is necessary to kill so many animals. Is it necessary to spend so much of money on these rituals? Is it necessary at all? And they came to the conclusion what is important is simple living and high thinking. All this is useless. All these rituals and sacrifices are not necessary. So the earliest critics of the Vedic religion, the corruptions against the Vedic religion, were the Upanishadic teachers themselves. Therefore, it's called Vedanta. Upanishads are also called Vedanta, that which came towards the end of the Vedas. So they emphasize on knowledge of the self, right, and relation of Atma with Brahma, right. Then we have the six Vedangas. So we are dealing with Smriti. We discuss the Brahmanas, then the Upanishads, then we come to the Vedangas, six Vedangas. Veda Anga. So limbs of the Veda. Vedanga means Veda Anga. That is limbs of the Veda. Limbs of the Veda. So they are meant to explain the Vedas, these Vedangas. So what are the six Vedangas? Shiksha, phonetics. What is phonetics? How to pronounce. Shiksha, phonetics, how to pronounce. Nirukta, etymology, that is root of words. Etymology is root of words. nirukta, Chandas, meter, that is how to recite, Vyakarna, grammar, Kalpa, ritual, Jyotisha, astronomy. Now, out of the six Vedangas, the most important is the Kalpa. The most important is Kalpa, Kalpa Shastra or Kalpa Sutra. Why the Kalpa is most important? Because it deals with the following things. Griha Sutras, Kalpa Sutra or Kalpa Shastra deals with Griha Sutras or Dharma Sutras. That is household ceremonies dealing with marriage, birth, naming, marriage, etc. These are called Griha Sutras or Dharma Sutras. Salva Sutras deal with Rekha Ganita, that is geometry. So, you see, the origin of geometry is here because when the Yagna Kund or Hamana Kund was being set up, so before the Haman or Yagna or the sacrifice, you have a particular dimension. A particular dimension was used to build or make this Yagna Kund, right? And that's where the origin of geometry comes from. So Salva Sutras deal with Rekha Ganita or geometry. Shata Shutras deal with social ceremonies, where even the all castes were involved, including the Shutras. Like, for example, the coronation of the king, such things. Okay? And please understand, the Vedic literature was written in condensed prose style, intended for memorization, called Sutra style. Understand this? Sutra style. See, during the Vedic period, people had no knowledge of writing. So all the Vedic knowledge was transmitted orally. Harappans were advanced that way. They could read and write, most of the Harappans. Whereas the Vedic people, the Vedic Aryans, whatever knowledge they gained was transmitted orally from word of mouth through the medium of sound. So they had a fantastic way of memorizing known as Sutra style. Sutra style is condensed prose style intended for memorization. Condensed prose style intended for memorization. Something like a shortcut method, something like a shortcut method. We have Vedic mathematics, isn't it? Vedic mathematics. So it's a shortcut method. You multiply or add a few digits and you get the answer without following those elaborate steps in what we follow in conventional mathematics or algebra. So here you multiply or add some digits and you get the answer. So that way they had a very simple method of remembering things, condensed prose style intended for memorization. That is called Sutra style, right? Um, See, Vedas are part of our heritage, Sham. Vedas are part of our heritage, and it has been believed, it has come down to us from thousands of years. So, because of that reason, it's part of our shared culture and heritage, and therefore it is considered to be sacred. Now, whether you believe it or not is up to you. Okay, it's up to you whether you believe it or not. But then, since it has been believed from so many years, from thousands of years, of course, there are many things. There are unrealistic stories, fantastic stories, but they are there in all religions. Such stories are there in all religions. So, minus the miracle aspect of it, minus the miracle part, there are also many moralistic lessons to be learned from these scriptures. So, therefore, it is considered to be relevant. Okay, so and considered to be sacred. Then we come to Upavedas. What are Upavedas? There are 4 Upavedas meant to make one's life happy, safe, and secure. So Ayurveda deals with medicine, Dhanurveda, archery, Gandharva Veda, music, Shilpa Shastra, sculpture. So this is also part of the Smriti literature. Then we have epics, Ramayana, Mahabharata. So Mahabharata, written by Veda Vyasa, it reflects the state of affairs from the 10th century BC to the 4th century AD. So from the 10th century BC to the 4th century AD. So please understand, Mahabharata written by Veda Vyasa was not written in one go, in one sitting by Veda Vyasa. So you have interpolation. Stories have been added in between. For example, initially it consisted of 8,800 verses. So 8,800 verses. Then it became 24,000. So 8,800 verses called Jaya Samhita. Then it became 24,000 and called Bharata. And then finally it became 1 lakh. That is called Shata Sahasri Samhita. and it became to be called Mahabharata. So stories have been added in between. That is, those are called interpolations. Interpolations. And finally, we have the Mahabharata. So please understand, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Puranas, Dharma Shastras, they all reach their final format with all the interpolations, with all the additions. They reached their final form during the Gupta period. In fact, all these scriptures were rewritten in classical Sanskrit during the Gupta period. Till then, you have a lot of changes made to them, a lot of stories being added, interpolations being added, etc. So they reached their final form during the Gupta period. And the most important part of the Mahabharata, as you all know, is the Bhagavad Gita. Most important part is the Bhagavad Gita. That is the discourse given by Lord Krishna to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, on the Kurukshetra battlefield. That is, you do your duty, don't be attached to the fruits. You don't be attached to the fruits, you do your duty. And do your karma, whatever is necessary for you to do at that point in time, you do that. Don't be attached to the fruits. That's what Krishna says. That's the main gist of the Bhagavad Gita. And believe me, if you have that attitude, with respect to UPSC, you will do better. You will do better, because don't keep that load, that expectation that, since you're putting effort, you will definitely clear and all that. I hope and pray that all of you clear, but then don't be attached to the fruits. Just do your duty. That is, finish the syllabus and do the right things. Okay, answering questions, practicing. So without that, you cannot expect the fruit. So do your duty and leave the rest to God. And then you'll have less pressure on your brain. Right. Okay, this is Mahabharata. Vedas were written down later. That is true, Manpreet. Vedas were written down later, much later, sometime around the 7th century BC. They came to be written. Otherwise, during the Vedic period, they had no knowledge of writing. Everything was transmitted orally, as I told you, through condensed prose style called Sutra style. Right. So am I there with you, all of you? Can I go on? I know this is factual, but I'm trying to make it, wherever I have to explain, I'm explaining. I'm trying to make it interesting, but it's a factual topic. Okay. Ashoshan. Okay. Then we come to Ramayana. Ramayana written by Valmiki. Again, you see, initially consisted of 6,000 verses. Then it became 12,000 and ultimately 24,000. Ramayana is first. So you see, Himani, how do you remember whether it's Ramayana, Mahabharata? Look at the 10 avatars of Vishnu. Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narsimha, Vamana. Then comes Parashurama. Then comes Rama. Then comes Krishna. So Rama is Ramayana hero, right? And Krishna is Mahabharata hero. So first comes Rama, then comes Krishna. Okay, so first comes Ramayana, then comes Mahabharata. Though history says that Mahabharata came first. Though the stories, what you say in the Mahabharata, from those stories we feel that Mahabharata came first, but actually it is supposed to be the Ramayana. So Ramayana is older than Mahabharata. I have mentioned it here. The composition of Ramayana started in the 5th century BC, and it reached its final form in the 12th century AD. By the 12th century AD, it went through several stages. And two scholars drew their inspiration from the Mahabharata. One is Ashwagosha. Ashwagosha, I remember, he wrote Shauriputra Prakarana, Sundara Nandana. Ashwagosha was the vice president or vice chairman during the fourth Buddhist council. The chairman was Vasumitra. The vice chairman was Ashwagosha. So he wrote the first dramas of India, Shauriputra Prakarana, Sundara Nandana. Kalidasa, of course, was again inspired by Ramayana. So I can see here, we have the government of India has released stamps where the entire Ramayana story is there. If you look at those, the map. So here you have Rama, breaking the Dhanush of Shiva, right? And then he marries Sita. Then you see here the he is being banished. Rama is banished because of Kaikeyi. And then you have Bharata, who says that he'll run the kingdom, but he has taken the Padaraksha, what do you call, the footprint of Rama. He keeps it on the throne, and he'll run the kingdom, he says, until he comes back from the forest. So all those things are there. You can see the story, right? There's Shabari here. You can see Shabari, right? And then this is Hanuman who goes to Lanka and spots Sita in the garden there, and he gives a ring. So she understands that her husband knows where she is now. So all those stories, Then you have Hanuman, carrying that mountain which contained the Sanjeevani. So all those stories. So Ramayana. So there are nearly 300 Ramayanas. Nearly 300 Ramayanas. Two are very famous. One is Valmiki Ramayana of Valmiki and Ramacharitamanus of Tulsidas that is Tulsidas, Ramcharitamanas. So these are very famous Ramayanas. Then there are various versions of Ramayana in East Asia, China, Japan, Southeast Asia, also Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, South Asia like Nepal, Sri Lanka, etc. Then there are five textbooks of Sanskrit Ramayana. There's more than one text of Sanskrit Ramayana. Original Ramayana is in Sanskrit of Valmiki, but there are 5 versions. Yoga Vashishta Ramayana, Ananda Ramayana, Adbhuta Ramayana, Tattva Sangraha Ramayana, Sangraha Ramayana. There are 5 Sanskrit versions of Ramayana. And there are many versions of Ramayana. In one version, Sita is the daughter of Ravana. And interesting this is. Sita, we have about 300 Ramayanas. In one version, Sita is the daughter of Ravana. And the fight between Rama and Ravana happens because Ravana refuses to give his daughter in marriage to Rama. So that is one version of Ramayana, right? There are 300 versions, 300 types of Ramayanas. So this is in Sanskrit, Adhyatma Ramayana written by Vedavyasa. See, Rukia, very interesting. Vedavyasa wrote Mahabharata, but Vedavyasa also wrote a version of Ramayana. That's called Adhyatma Ramayana. So go through this. The information is here. I've given you here. Then Ananda Ramayana. Okay, Ananda Ramayana, also known as Manohara Ananda Ramayana. Then we have Ramayana in various languages. They can ask you questions from this section. Okay, for example, Gujarati, Ramayana in Gujarati language, written by Giridhara Dasa. So this is called Tulsi Krita Ramayana. Okay, and the details are here. Go through it. Gujarati Ramayana, written by Giridhara Dasa. Bengali, Ramayana in Bengali language, written by Krittivas Oja. It's called Krittivasi Ramayana below. Then Hindi, Tulsidas Ramcharitamanas. Assamese Ramayana, that is called Saptakanda Ramayana, written by Madhava Kandali. Odiya Ramayana, Balaram Das, Jagamohana Ramayana, also known as Dandi Ramayana. Punjabi, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, the 10th Guru wrote it. Rama Avatar. Okay, Rama Avatar. It's called Rama Avatar. Then Tamil Ramayana, written by Kamban, Rama Avataram. Telugu Ramayana by Ranganatha. It's called Ranganatha Ramayana. Kannada Ramayana, written by Narahari. It's called Kumara Valmiki Ramayana. Kumara Valmiki Tvarve Ramayana. Then Malayalam, Kannasa family, Kannasa Ramayanam. My God, you got it. So many different versions of Ramayana are there. Marathi, written by Eknath. Bhavartha Ramayana. Konkani, Krishnadas Shama. Ramayana Cho Kanyo. Konkani. The Maithili, Mithila Bhasha Ramayana. Prose and verses are poems, Roshan. Prose and verse. Verse is a poem, unlike a prose. Then Kashmiri Ramayana, Ramavatara Charitra. There's a Urdu Ramayana, very interesting. Poti Ramayana. Ramayana in Urdu is called Poti Ramayana. Persian Ramayana written in Persian. Dastan-e-Ram o Sita. You see, Akbar ordered the translation of the Ramayana into Persian language. So that took the form of Dastan-e-Ram o Sita. Okay. Stephen says Majige Ramayana. Where is this from, Stephen? Majige Ramayana. Yeah. Harsha says these are stories only and not really happened. Harsha, the Honorable Supreme Court, when it was taken to the Supreme Court, it has said that since it is part of our belief system, Hindus have believed this to be true for thousands of years, and therefore it is true. It has to be considered to be true. Yeah, because it was there in an oral form. It was there, Zeba. If Vedas were written in the 7th century BC, then still Rig Veda is the oldest book. Yeah, because Rig Veda, the knowledge was there. It was written later, but the knowledge of Rig Veda was there. So without the knowledge of Rig Veda being there, how could it be written? Unless it was there. So it was there in oral form. It was written penned later. So about 300 Ramayanas are there, Deepesh. Yeah, that is Deepesh. Why so many Ramayanas? Uh, that is their imagination, Deepesh. Maybe you can write a Ramayana. Nobody will object, provided it is interesting. So we'll have one more version of Ramayana. Sir, Payal sir, you believe or not in Ramayana? It doesn't matter, Payal, whether I believe or not. I believe that such questions can come. As far as I am concerned, what type of questions can come, can be framed by the UPSC. So I'm more concerned about that. We'll come back here. Then you see in other countries also we have different Ramayanas. In Southeast Asia, India to Tibet, Eastern Turkestan. See here, Malaysian Ramayana, Hikayat Seri Rama, Thailand, Rama Kien, Japanese, Raman Shaw, like that. Sinhalese, Janaki Harana, you can see that. Sri Lanka, Janaki Harana. Philippines, Maharadhya Lavana. Bali, Rama Kavacha. Sumatra, Ramayana Swarna Dvipa. Very interesting. So, these are the various versions of Ramayana in various parts of Southeast Asia, Japan, Mongolia. So, the story of Ramayana, there are different versions of Ramayana. There they have their own interpretations of Ramayana. So, that's how it is. Yeah, it was written not by common man, Ruhani, Manpreet. It was written by the sages themselves. But Ramayana, composed by Valmiki, penned later. Vedas were penned later. Ramayana was written by Valmiki. Janaki Harana is the Sinhalese version of Ramayana. Janaki is another name for Sita. Sita, goddess Sita, wife of Rama. So Janaki is another name for her. Okay, so look at that. Then we have 6 systems of philosophy. They're again in Sanskrit language. Nyaya, Gautama. We'll talk about philosophy after we finish this literature topic. So Nyaya by Gautama, Vaisheshika philosophy by Kannada, Samkhya philosophy, Sankhya by Kapila, like that. Yoga by Patanjali, Purva Mimamsa by Jaimini, Uttara Mimamsa by Vyasadeva Badarayana. So 6 systems of philosophy, they are also in Sanskrit language. Then we have the Dharma Shastras, Dharma Shastra or law books of India. Dharma Shastras are the law books of India. Law books, they are also called Smritis. They're also called as Smritis. Another name is Smritis. So Dharma Shastras or Smritis, both are the same. So we have so many Dharma Shastras, Manava Dharma Shastra or Manu Dharma Shastra, Vishnu Dharma Shastra, Yagnavalkya Smriti, Narada Smriti. These are all examples of Dharma Shastras or Smritis. So Manava Dharma Shastra is the oldest. Dharma Shastra is the oldest. Manava Dharma Shastra or Manu Dharma Shastra. So they speak about the social and political life of the age, the caste system, ashramas of life, economic conditions, also state of professions, arts, crafts, architecture, working of administration. They give us all this information, the Dharma Shastras. So you can see I have put it in a sequential order. Dharma Shastras. First comes Manava Dharma Shastra. Second comes Vishnu Dharma Shastra. Third is Yagnavalkya Dharma Shastra or the Yagnavalkya Smriti. Then Narada Smriti. So Manava Dharma Shastra, Vishnu Dharma Shastra, Yagnavalkya Smriti, Narada Smriti. So MVYN. So you can remember that way. Manava Dharma Shastra, Vishnu Dharma Shastra, Yagnavalkya Smriti, Narada Smriti. Then grammar. So you can see here many books in Sanskrit language were written on grammar books in Sanskrit. So remember the most important ones. They can ask you match the following, or they would have already matched and asked you the wrong match. So, for example, Nirukta by Yaska, Ashtadhyayi, and Maheshwara Sutrani, written by Panini, Vartika by Katyayana, Mahabhashya by Patanjali. These are all grammar books. Vakyapadiya by Bhartrihari, Kasika Vritti by Jayaditya and Vamana, like that. Then Puranas. So Puranas are also in Sanskrit language. They are they are divided into 5 parts. There are 18 Puranas. They are divided into 5 parts. They deal with all these topics: primary creation, so how the universe was created, cosmogony; secondary creation, following the destruction of the world and its rebuilding; genealogy of gods and patriarchs; family tree of gods and patriarchs; periods of reigns of Manu, various Manvantaras, like that. So they deal with um, their sectarian religious manuals, right? So the oldest Purana is the Vayu Purana, and the Bhagavata and the Shiva Purana deal with Vishnu and Shiva respectively. Bhagavata Purana deals with Vishnu and Shiva Purana with Shiva. Oldest Purana is Vayu Purana. So these are again in Sanskrit language. Then we have poems, kavyas. So kavyas, remember the important kavyas. Buddha Charita, Saundara Nanda, Shariputra Prakarana, written by Ashwagosha. They are all examples of poems. Buddha Charita, Saundara Nanda, Shariputra Prakarana, written by Ashwagosha. Kalidasa's poems, Raghuvansha, Ritu Samhara, Megha Duta, Kumara Sambhava by Kalidasa, Kirata Arjunya by Bharavi, Ratnavali or Bhatti Kavya by Bhatti, Shishupala Vada by Magha, like that. Rajatarangini by Kalhana's Rajatarangini. Then Vikramanka Devacharita, and Chaura Panchashika, written by Bilhana, Gita Govinda by Jayadeva. These are all examples of poems. Shatakas are single miniature stanzas. What are Shatakas? Single miniature stanzas. They are also in the form of they are also written in Sanskrit language. Example, Bhartrihari Shataka, Amaru Shataka. Single miniature stanzas are called Shatakas. Yeah, I will inform that. Sham, can you please mail me? Whatever is your query, just mail me. I will forward it to the concerned people and get it done. So please do that. Shataka, single miniature stanzas. Single small stanzas. That is called Shatakas. Okay, so vijay.kumar@byju's.com. We'll move on. Then we have prose romances. Dandin, Dasakumara Charita, Kavya Darsha, Shudrakas Mritchakatika, Subandhus Vasavadatta, Banas Harshacharita, and Kadambari, Ananda Madhavanala Kamakandala Kata, Dhanapala Tilaka Manjari. So what you do is you make cue cards, small cue cards you make, 6 into 4 centimeters. I keep telling this, 6 centimeters by 4 centimeters. And then write down in small letters and keep revising them. That becomes easy to remember. Okay. Then we have champus. What are champus? Verses interspersed with prose. So poems and verses interspersed. That is called champus. Champus. Verses interspersed with prose. For example, Nala Champu, Madalasa Champu, by Trivikrama, Yasatelaka Champu, by Somadeva, like that. Mritchakatika, I have told you, Deepesh. Mritchakatika is about the social life of the Gupta period. Mritchakatika, the little clay cart in English by Srudarka. It talks about the social life. A pious Brahmin called Charudatta falling in love with a courtesan called Vasanta Sena. So it talks about the social life of the Gupta period. Mritchakatika. Yeah, thank you. Good, Sham. You can always keep it in a file and keep looking at it. Keep it in a purse and keep looking at it. You tag it or use a clip and then keep revising. Then we have dramas, Nataka, again in Sanskrit language. Look at the huge corpus of information we get in Sanskrit language and literature. So many topics, books written on so many subjects and so many topics by so many authors. So drama and or Nataka. Ashwagosha, Shauriputra Prakarana. Basa, Swapna Basavadatta. Pratignaya Aughandarayana. Pratignaya Aughandarayana. Bhasa, Mritchakatika, Bashudraka, Shakuntala, Vikramorvashi, Malavika, Agnimitra, by Kalidasa, Ratnavali, and Nagaranda, by Harshavardhana. So, the last great emperor of ancient India, he writes these dramas. Ratnavali, Nagananda, Bana wrote Parvati Parinaya, Bhavabuti, Malati Madhava, Mahavira Charita, Uttararama Charita, Mudra Rakshasa, Devi Chandraguptani, and Abhisarika Vanchatika by Vishakadatta. So Vishakadatta wrote all these books, Mudra Rakshasa, Devi Chandraguptani. So I have mentioned about this. You remember Mudra Rakshasa I have mentioned, Devi Chandraguptam I have mentioned. The Veni Samhara by Bhatta Narayana. So these are the various dramas written. Then some more are there. Anargha Ragava by Murari. Karpura Manjari, Bala Bharata, Bala Ramayana. Bala Ramayana is probably the longest Indian drama. It is written by Rajasekhara. Bala Ramayana is probably the longest Indian drama. Which is the longest Indian epic in English? Which is the longest epic in English language? Anybody? Which is the longest epic? Longest epic in English language. No, it is Savitri by Aurobindo Ghosh. Savitri by Aurobindo Ghosh. This is supposed to be the longest epic in English language. Aurobindo Ghosh. Savitri. So such questions they can ask you. Be careful. Then Chanda Kaushika by Kshemishwara. Hanumana Shataka, Damodara Mishra, Prabodha Chandrodaya, Krishna Mishra. Then we have didactic literature. What is didactic literature? The author is trying to influence the reasoning, thinking and conduct of the reader. That's called didactic. Didactic is the author is trying to influence the reasoning, thinking and conduct of the reader. Examples. Panchatantra, written by Vishnu Sharma. Hitopadesha by Narayana. Brihad Katha by Gunadhya. Brihad Katha Manjari by Kshemendra. Katha Sarita Sagara by Somadeva. These are all didactic textbooks. The author is trying to influence the reasoning, thinking and conduct of the reader. Theme is not necessary, Zeba. Theme is not necessary. Just try to remember the author and the book, name of the book. It will flash to you. If you have revised properly, it will flash to you. When you see the question paper, the answer is there in the question paper. It will flash to you. You know which is the right match or which is what is the one to mark. You know that very well. You'll come to know. Lexicography. What is lexicography? Collection of dictionaries. Again in Sanskrit language. Collection of dictionaries. Amara Kosha, Amara Simha, Anakarta Samuchaya Basaswata, Abhidhana Ratnamala Halayuda, Abhidhana Chintamani, Hemachandra. So what I would tell you is, see what you do is anticipating a question in the mains. You make a 250 word answer on development of Sanskrit literature in ancient. So the question could be development of Sanskrit literature in ancient India. You make a 250 word answer and keep it ready. You give an introduction, okay? For example, a huge body of literature in Sanskrit language was composed in ancient India. Sanskrit was the language of the Shishtas, while Prakrit was the Desha Bhasha, the language of the masses. Okay, and then you start off. Okay, give examples. One or two example. One example for each you give. One or two examples you give. Drama, Vedic literature, then grammar books, prose romances, etc., etc. So you give a lot of examples and make it 250 words and give a conclusion. That should be it. You already keep it ready and keep and revise it a few times. So if there's a question asked about Sanskrit literature in ancient India, you can directly write that, download it into the examination paper, right? Why Sanskrit is not our official language? Why do you think so, Yasmin? Sanskrit is not our official language. You should know the answer yourself. Sanskrit was not the language of the masses. I told you it was only the language of the elite sections. For example, when Dr. Ambedkar wanted to learn Sanskrit, he was prevented from doing so because he was belonging to the backward caste. So he was prevented. So he learned Persian and still he got a gold medal in Persian language. Got it? So it was not taught to everybody. It was reserved for the upper classes and the elite sections of society. So how can it be made as the official language? Not necessary, Shyam. You don't need to. You don't need to write each question before the answer. Where's the time for that? You can take words from the question. Okay, you can take words from the question, and in the introduction, you can write the words from the question when you're answering it, right? But you don't need to write the question answer definitely. So lexicography is the collection of dictionaries. Deepesh, gold medal, that is, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Okay, we'll come back here. Then we have scientific literature. Scientific literature also is in Sanskrit language. Number of books in Sanskrit language written on various subjects of science. For example, Aryabhatta wrote Aryabhatyam, Surya Siddhanta in Sanskrit language. Varahamihira, Pancha Siddhantika, Brihat Samhita, Brahmasputika Siddhanta by Brahmagupta, Siddhanta Shironambani by Bhaskaracharya, Charaka Samhita by Charaka, Shushruta Samhita by Shushruta, Ashtanga Hridaya by Bhagbata. They're all in Sanskrit language. Okay, so this is about Sanskrit language and literature, right? Then we come to Pali literature. So Buddhist literature is in Pali and Sanskrit language. Again, I will tell you, you make a 250 word answer about Buddhist literature. Development of Buddhist literature in ancient times. 250 word answer, you make it. So you say Buddhist literature is found in Pali as well as Sanskrit. Then you mention, go into the details as we are going to discuss now. So entire mass of Buddhist literature is preserved in partly Pali, partly in Sanskrit. So Buddhist literature is some in Pali, some in Sanskrit. Pali is a sacred language of Buddhism in all these countries, Ceylon, Burma, Thailand. Hinayana literature is in Pali language, Hinayana literature, right? While Mahayana is in Sanskrit. Mahayana literature is in Sanskrit. So we have Pali, which is divided into canonical, that is most sacred, and non-canonical, not so sacred. So entire canonical literature belongs to Hinayanism. So what is canonical literature? That is that which is sacred. Like for example, the three Pitaka, Sutta Pitaka, Vinaya Pitaka, Abhidhamma Pitaka. They are called the three Pitakas. So first of all, we got to talk about Sutta Pitaka. Sutta Pitaka. What are Sutta Pitaka? Long discourses of the Buddha. Sutta means long. Who recited the Sutta Pitaka? You remember, Sutta Pitaka was recited by Ananda. Ananda recited the Sutta Pitaka in the first Buddhist council. Ananda. In the first Buddhist council, Ananda, Buddha's favorite disciple, recited the Sutta Pitaka. First Buddhist council. So Sutta means discourses of the Buddha, long discourses of the Buddha. Divided into 5 Nikayas, 5 parts, minor collections. Digha Nikaya. Digha means long. Digha contains long speeches of the Buddha. Contains Chatvari Arya Sattani, 4 noble truths. 4 noble truths. That is, there is dukkha, it has a cause, samudaya, then dukkha can be removed, nirodha, and the way to do it is by following the eightfold path, ashtangika marga. That is called Chatvari Arya Satyam, that is 4 noble truths. Then it contains the Ashtanga Marga, 8 noble paths. Then contains the Mahaparinirvana Sutta, the last sermon of the Buddha. So before Buddha died, he gave his last discourse to Ananda and Subhadra, isn't it? That's called Mahaparinirvana Sutta, the last discourse given by the Buddha. Subject to decay are all component things, strive earnestly for your own salvation. That is all contained in the Digha Nikaya, long speeches of the Buddha. Right? Then we come to Majjhima Nikaya. So PPTs will be shared with you. Yeah, canonical means sacred, correct? Sacred, holy. Ziba. So Majjhima Nikaya, medium length sermons. Deals with Buddha's relations with other sects like Jainism and Ajivikas. I believe this is the Majjhima Nikaya, medium length sermons. Anguttara Nikaya, graduated sermons. That is those that are arranged in the order of priority. They are arranged in the order of priority. That is called Anguttara Nikaya, graduated sermons. Samyukta Nikaya, connected sermons, contains Dharma Chakra Pravartana Sutta. That is how the wheel of Dharma moves. Buddha gave this sermon in the deer park at Sarnath, Isipatana, isn't it? So this is from the Samyukta Nikaya, Dharma Chakra Pravartana Sutra. How the wheel of Dharma moves. How the wheel of Dharma moves. This is called Dharma Chakra Pravartana Sutta. Dharma Chakra Pravartana Sutta. Then Khuddaka Nikaya, short lectures of the Buddha. And this is the most important part of the Nikayas because of the following important parts of the Khuddaka Nikaya are these. Jataka stories. So here you see they are part of the Digha Nikaya. Jataka stories are part of the Digha Nikaya and part of the Khuddaka Nikaya. So Jatakas deal with the 550 previous births of the Buddha. I told you, in one birth Buddha was a monkey, in another birth he was a donkey, in another birth he was a maid servant, another birth he was a cow. In every birth Buddha did only good. Ultimately he was born as Siddhartha, and in that life he attained Nirvana and he became Buddha. So Jataka's stories are deal with the previous lives of the Buddha, which is also called Bodhisattvas. They are also called Bodhisattvas. So Theragata, compiled by bhikshus, male monks, male monks, that is called Theragata. Therigata, compiled by bhikshunis, female monks. Then Suttanipata, Buddha Vamsha, Dhammapada. So these are all examples of the Sutta Pitaka, part of the Sutta Pitaka. Then we have Vinaya Pitaka, that is rules of management of the Sangha. So this was recited by Upali. You remember in the first Buddhist council, Upali recited the Vinaya Pitaka, first Buddhist council. Upali recited the Vinaya Pitaka. It is divided to 3 parts. Patimoksha, the Patimoksha, Sutta Vibhanga, and Khandaka. So, conduct of daily life of monks and nuns, how the monks and nuns are supposed to behave themselves, and rules for management of the Sangha, that is contained in the Vinaya Pitaka. Then Abhidhamma Pitaka. So, Sutta Pitaka, Vinaya Pitaka, Abhidhamma Pitaka. In the third council at Patliputra, you remember we have Abhidhamma Pitaka, which was written. That is the philosophical interpretation of the earlier 2 Pitakas. It was compiled by Moggaliputta Tissa. Abhidhamma Pitaka, mainly derived from the Sutta Pitaka. So, 7th part is the most important, contains the Kathavattu, written by Moggaliputta Tissa. Right? This is Abhidhamma Pitaka. Then we have non-canonical literature, not so sacred. Under that, we have Milinda Panha, the questions of Milinda, dialogue between King Nagasena and the Buddhist monk Nagasena and the king Milinda, and that is contained in a book written in Pali called Milinda Panha. This is in Pali language, as you know. Divyavadana is a Tibetan textbook. It is a book of Tibetan text. And then we have of course Mahavastu. So non-canonical literature. Then we have Sri Lankan non-canonical books, that is Ceylonese chronicles like Deepa Vamsha, the Island Chronicle, Mahavamsha, the Great Chronicle, Great chronicle written by Mahanama. Kulavamsha, lesser chronicle. Vamsata Pakasini. Then we have Sanskrit Mahayana literature. Sadharma Pundarika, Lalita Vistara, biography of the Buddha, Karanda Vyuha, Sukhavati Vyuha, Swaranganam. These are Sanskrit Mahayana literature. Then we have other books like Asanga wrote Sutra Alankara, Vasubandhu wrote Abhidharma Kosha, Acharya Nagarjuna wrote Madhyamika Karika, Pragna Paramita, Shruhul Lekha. So this is about Buddhist literature. Sanskrit literature, Prakrit literature, you see, Vardhaman Mahavira spoke in Ardhamagadi. He spoke in Ardhamagadi dialect of Prakrit. So this is the dialect of Prakrit, Ardhamagadi dialect of Prakrit. So most of the Jain literature is in Prakrit language, right? So Ardhamagadi dialect was spoken by Vardhaman Mahavira. So some of the books written in Prakrit are these: Setubandha by Pravarasena, Gaudavaho by Vakpati Raja, Gata Saptashati, also called Saptasi by Hala, the 17th king of the of the Shatavahanas, Hala. He wrote Gata Saptashati. Karpura Manjari by Rajashekara, Prakrita Prakasha by Vararuchi. So these are the various books written in Prakrit language. Then we come to Dravidian literature. So did you understand? Huge body of literature in ancient India in all these languages: Sanskrit, then Prakrit, again Pali and Ardhamagadi, and then of course we come to Dravidian language. Divyavadana is a Tibetan book, Sunny. Why is it called Gandharan Avadana? I have no idea. I really don't know. Sunny, I'm sorry for that. I don't know this. I had to find out. Gandharan Avadana. Okay. Divyavadana is called Gandharan Avadana. So it was a Tibetan book, Tibetan Buddhist book, Divyavadana. So we'll come back here. Dravidian literature. So the oldest of the Dravidian languages is Tamil, and the earliest Tamil literature is termed the Sangam literature. We have done this topic, remember? Sangam age. So the oldest Tamil literature is a Sangam literature, it was basically an academy which met at Madurai Academy of Scholars. So this was a parliament. What was a Sangam? Sangam was a academy or a parliament, academy of scholars, academy or a parliament of scholars which met at Madurai, the capital of the Pandyas. So in the Pandyan court, you have a number of scholars, poets, literateurs, authors, etc. The body of literature which was compiled, collated, organized by this academy or parliament of scholars is known as Sangam literature. The main theme I told you of Sangam literature is the wars between the three Tamil kingdoms, wars between the Cholas, the Cheras, and the Pandyas. So it's the main theme is wars between these three Tamil kingdoms. But they also give us information, the Sangam literature, about the political, social, economic, and religious conditions of the Deep South. It also gives information on all these areas: political, social, economic, and religious conditions of the Deep South. Okay. So Sangam literature was finally it roughly covers the period from 5th century BC to 5th century AD. Finally, it was compiled in the 6th century AD, the Sangam literature. So the earliest, so you see, according to tradition, 3 Sangams are supposed to have taken place. 3 Sangams or academies are supposed to have taken place, 3 Sangams. First was attended by gods and legendary sages. First Sangam was attended by gods and legendary sages. But none of the books have come down to us of the first Sangam. Second Sangam, only one book has come down to us, that is the Tolkappiyam. This is a book on Tamil grammar. Only one book has come down to us from the second Sangam. And from the third Sangam, most of the literature is from the third Sangam. Most literature is from the third Sangam. Right? I will there with me, all of you. Hello, can you please raise your hands? I know this is a factual topic, but then we are discussing the topic. So just hold on. You may be getting a little bored, but then that's how it is. The topic is factual in nature. Can you raise your hands? Can I move on? Hello? Can you raise your hands, please? Am I audible and visible? Hello? Am I audible and visible? Hello? Is there a network problem? Hello? Please raise your hands. Am I audible and visible? Hello? Class? I'm not able to get a feedback from you people. Is it? Okay, great. Yeah, audible. Some issue from your side? Technical issue? Now it's fine. Okay, thank you. Okay, so it's a factual information. We are discussing this PPT. So wherever I have to explain to you, I'm explaining. Issue from chat. Okay, thank you. We'll continue. So let us talk about the Sangam literature. So you see, most of the books have come down from the third Sangam. From the second Sangam, only one book has come down to us, that is Tolkappiyam. The main theme, as I told you, is wars between the three Tamil kingdoms, Cholas, Cheras, Pandyas. Sangam literature is divided into 5 sections. Early books, the 8 anthology or Ettuttugai. Anthology means collection of poems. Anthology is a collection of poems. Collection of poems is called anthology. 10 short poems or idylls, it's called Pattapat. Then 18 minor works, 19 Kil Kanakku. 19 Kil Kanakku. 5 epics. So remember this same chart I have put what I did when I did ancient India, post-Maurya period, Sangam age. So Tolkappiyam written by Tolkappiyar. Earliest text deals with grammar. Madurai Kanji written by Mangudi Marudan describes Kaveri Pattanam. It's the most important source of trade and commerce on the deep south. Murugarupadai by Nakkirar. Murugarupadai by Nakkirar. A song in praise of Muruga, most powerful god of the deep south. Pallamalai by Mundarai Arayar deals with the day-to-day rituals of Brahmins. Tirukkural by Tiruvalluvar. So it is full of ethics and morals. It is called the Bible of Sangam literature. Tirukkural by Tiruvalluvar. Then we have the epics. Shilapatikaram written by Illango Vadigal. I told you the story, I think. You remember the story of Shilapatikaram, students? Remember the story? I have told you the story when I did the post-Maurya period. Kovalan, Kannagi. Yeah, remember that? Okay. Kovalan story. Kovalan and Kannagi, he falls in love with a dancer called Madhavi, begins to neglect his wife, and then later Madhavi kicks him out. Though she gives a daughter to him by name Mani Megalai, and then Kovalan later is killed on the orders of the Pandyan king, and then Kannagi also curses the city of Madurai by tearing her breast open and then throwing it on the city of Madurai, and the worship of Kannagi came to be called the Patini cult. So I've told you the story. Ideal wife story, yes. Then Shubhankar, very good. Then Mani Megalai, that is a daughter born to Kovalan and Madhavi, written by Sattanar. The villain is Prince Udaya Kumaran. So this prince wants to marry Mani Megalai, and he is eating her head so much. He eats her head so much that ultimately she becomes a Buddhist nun. So it talks about the development of fine arts and Buddhism in the deep south. Shivagasindamani by Tiruthakkadeva. So it talks about the popularity of Jainism in the deep south. Kuntala Kechi by Natakutanar. So it's about a romance between a couple, boy and a girl. They get married. Then the girl loses interest. The wife loses interest in the husband and gets him murdered. And then later she finds peace in religion. So Kuntala Kesi by Natakutanar and Valayapati by an unknown Pulavar, Tamil Pulavar. So talks about Jain principles. So Shilapatigaram, as I mentioned here, you can see Shilapatigaram, Shivagasindamani, and Valayapati. They were written by Tamil Jains. Shilapatigaram, Shivagasindamani, and Valayapati. And of course the Mani Megalai, okay, the Mani Megalai and Kuntala Kechi. They were written by Buddhists. Mani Megalai and Kuntala Kechi. So Shilapadigaram and Mani Megalai are called the Iliad and Odyssey of Tamil literature. Iliad and Odyssey of Tamil literature. Then we have the Shaiva saints, the Nayanars, 63 Shaiva saints, and the Vaishnava Alvars, 12 Alvars. They also compose devotional literature in Tamil language in praise of Shiva and Vishnu respectively. So we have the Tirumurai. The Nayanars composed the Tevaram, also called Dravida Veda. And whereas the Alvars composed the Nalayira Divya Prabandhas, in praise of Vishnu in Tamil language. So these also serve as a source of information to enrich Tamil language and literature. Right? Andal was a Alvar saint. Andal. She was the daughter of Periya Alvar, and she was a Alvar saint. Right? Then Kamban, Ottakuttan, Pugalendi. These are the three Tamil gems. Kamban, Ottakuttan, Pugalendi are considered to be the Trimurtis of Tamil literature. Right? And then we come to Kannada literature. So you please understand, you supplement this, whatever is there in the PPT, in this particular chapter, you supplement with the information I have given in the Rashtrakuta period. Rashtrakutas, refer to Rashtrakuta chapter, Kalyana Chalukya chapter, Kalyana Chalukyas, and Vijayanagara. So these three you refer, you get a lot of books in Kannada language. So you refer to these chapters, Rashtrakuta chapter, Kalyana Chalukyas, and of course Vijayanagara period, Vijayanagara chapter. So we have the earliest Kannada book is supposedly Vadda Aradhane written by Shiva Kotyacharya. Then Kaviraja Marga was written by Sri Vijaya. It was earlier thought to be written by Amoga Varsha, but actually written by Sri Vijaya. We have Jains, Veerashaivas, Vaishnavas also contributing towards the enrichment of Kannada literature. Then Pampa, Ponna, Ranna are considered to be the Trimurtis of Kannada literature. Pampa, Ponna, and Ranna. So Pampa, Ponna were in the Rashtrakuta kingdom, as you know, they were in the Rashtrakuta kingdom. And Ponna was in the Kalyana Chalukya kingdom. They are called the Trimurtis of Kannada literature. So Pampa Road, Adi Purana, Vikramanka Vijaya, Ranna Road, Sahasa Bhima Vijaya, also called Gada Yuddha, etc. We have the Lingayat or Veerashaiva movement, also enriching Kannada literature. Telugu literature, we have, of course, these three people, Nanaya or Nannappa, Tikkanna, Erapragada. These are called the Kavitraya, the Trimurtis of Telugu literature. So please refer to Vijayanagara chapter, refer to Vijayanagara chapter, Vijayanagara chapter. You get a lot of information about Telugu literature, books written in Telugu language. The Ashtadiggajas were there. Ashtadiggajas. They wrote a number of books in Telugu language. Ashtadiggajas. Nanaya wrote the Mahabharata in Telugu. Okay. So about Telugu literature. And then, of course, we come to Malayalam literature, the youngest of the languages, Malayalam, Tunjattu Irochan. So oldest Malayalam literature, imitated Tamil poetry. I don't have much information about Malayalam. So please refer to Nitin Singhania. Refer to this book of Nitin Singhania. Refer to Nitin Singhania book and see whether there is any books mentioned in Malayalam language. Malayalam literature. So just refer to this book and see whether there is any information. If it is not there, then I will source it out for you and give it to you. So development of Malayalam literature. So important books and important personalities pertaining to Malayalam language and literature, right? Revise. Deepak, the only solution is to revise. Only solution is to revise. So we'll come to Persian literature, but I have run out of time. I'm having a little. I'm feeling a little tired today. So a little, my head is a little spinning. So we'll stop here. We'll continue tomorrow. I'll do Persian literature. Finish Persian literature. And then I'll give you, we'll discuss Persian literature and start with philosophy topic, philosophy, Bhakti Sufi movement. We'll all do that tomorrow. Okay, so I'll call it a day. I'm ending the class about 8 minutes early on my watch, 8 minutes early. So please pardon me for that. You have a great day. We'll meet tomorrow. Right? Is it fine? So just mail me if you have any doubts, any problem about PPT, GPT, whatever it is. You just mail me and I'll forward it to the concerned people. Tomorrow we'll be meeting at the same time, 6 o'clock. Yeah. Thank you. Take care. I'm logging out. Yeah. Just mail me, Vani. Whatever I can do from my side, I will do. Yeah, this was more of a factual topic, Tra. So therefore, revise. Yeah, just mail me, Jyoti. Whatever it is, Jyoti, mail me. Okay? Timing stays same, 6 o'clock. Today, because of some technical issue, we could not start on the right time. Sham, don't skip anything. Don't skip anything. Please don't skip anything. They can ask you questions in the prelims. Okay? And the mains also. So thank you.